Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. It is January 26th, 2021. I keep writing 2020. I know that's like a cliche. Everybody does that. I'm doing it as well. I'm looking at the outline right now, and I wrote 2020. So that's the wrong year. 2020 really sucked. 2021, in theory, should be better. We're going to figure that out because it's still very early. We got a lot to get to. A ton of golf over the weekend. I want to start, and I have to start by saying that I have received my newest TaylorMade clubs. So we went to the Kingdom. We put the video out last week. It was great. We also have Pat Perez, Fore Man Scramble, coming out tonight, Tuesday night. Pat Perez is on this show, so there's a lot to look forward to. We're going to get to all that. But Kingdom video came out last week. We went to the Kingdom like 3 weeks ago. We got fitted, and then it takes a couple weeks to get your stuff. They got to build it out and do the thing and all that. I got my clubs, and I think everybody's gotten their stuff now, but I obviously am the one that lives in fucking Scottsdale. Now I'm in Pinehurst, so I've gotten to use – Saturday, I used my new clubs for the first time. The Sim 2 driver that I have, and there's on my ad read list right here is not even TaylorMade. TaylorMade is not even on the ad read list. We are sponsored by TaylorMade. We should probably say that. The Sim 2 driver that I have is legitimately changing my game for the better more than any other single thing that's ever existed in life, to the point where Thomas, our caddy that caddied for us when we beat Kevin Kisner, Thomas, my boy Jeremy, Dave, you guys all know Dave Galinsky here really well, my buddy Mike. Like, when I hit my tee shots, everyone is just laughing on the tee. They're like, this is a joke. Like, this fucking guy with his golf swing, with his pathetic, hardcore inside, super flat, no hips, and I'm just hitting, dude. My drives are laugh out loud funny. The ball just goes really high and far and is in the air forever and straight. And everyone is just like, people are looking at me like, almost like I imagine they look at Mr. Borelli when he has that fucking club where you hit a button and the ball just shoots up into the sky and goes onto the green. Like, this isn't a real, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this bullshit cheat code thing? Why? It's not fun for you to play golf as a cheater. Why aren't you just playing real normal golf like the rest of us? The driver is laugh out loud funny. So I'm very excited for you guys to put yours into play, because the Sim 2 is honestly a joke. Like, using it is a joke.
I'm so jealous of that, and I'm sure the rest of the guys can relate, because I got my stuff as well. But I live in New York City, and I unwrapped them all. I put them all in line up against the wall, and I just stared at them. They're beautiful. They are beautiful.
I haven't gotten shit.
Yeah, I got my putter and driver. I've gotten a putter. That's it.
No, I got my 3-wood. I got a 5-wood, and I also got my 5-iron hybrid. Those are the ones that I got. I haven't got my putter.
You got a 5-iron? They just sent you an iron?
No, a 5-iron hybrid that I've been trying to use.
Oh.
So I put those all.
Just sent you a 5-iron.
No,
it's such a tease.
And I just look at them, and it's
I cannot wait to get those clubs. I have the putter. I've been putting around with it. They did something to my putter. They gave me like the heaviest putter in the world. I don't know why, but I love it. Like, you have to, like, the shaft on this thing is 1,000 pounds. It's just, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's crazy. And they just sent me a spider, which we didn't agree upon, but I will be using the spider. I will be using the spider because it's fucking sick.
Spider?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this about the fucking spider. The
It's
spider,
so sick.
You can, and I've watched, even like Rom would use it forever. I know now he moved over, but he was still using the spider. DJ's using it. Rory using it. Like, all the best players in the world are using it. And when they pan to those guys within like 10 feet of the hole, it legit looks like with that physics behind the spider, there's no way to miss.
Impossible
Dude,
to miss.
You literally out here, especially because I got Thomas on, so he just gives me the read.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's almost like in the video game, like Golden Tee, where you just go forward and like the ball just can't miss the hole. You just go. That's honestly, I'm like, why are we even putting inside of 10 feet on the golf courses? Like, the ball just goes exactly where it's impossible to putt it offline. Like, it's not possible to putt it offline.
People are going to listen to this and they're going to think that like we're just juicing up these clubs. Wait until you see the way I played when we played these TaylorMade guys. When they put these clubs in my hand, I told one of the guys at TaylorMade, like, this is the promotion right here. Like, the fact that what I'm doing out here with these clubs is a joke. The fact that Riggs is showing up to Pinehurst, making people fall on the floor laughing. Like, these clubs are a joke. They shouldn't be in rotation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I saw that tweet from Riggs of like him hitting like long ball woods, and I laughed out loud because that's just not your game, and especially what it was and like what your boys knew that it was just like a month ago. I mean, your game was hit it off the map, punch something up there, chip, and have a good like a 5-footer for par, and you would do that like on a pretty consistent basis and like still like put together a really good score. So the fact that that swing, still the same swing, is now just roping bombs off the tee is one of the funnier things in the world. And then the putting, I just am putting it like at my place right now, and I am obsessed with this thing because the only takeaway I got from really, being at the Kingdom and getting fitted was this idea of degrees of miss. And like my putter that I was using, I would hit it like I'd pull it 8 degrees left and then 12 degrees right. And now with that spider, dude, I just hit like everything pretty straight where, yeah, sure, I miss something, but it's burning the edges on like a 10-foot putt. Sometimes I would like pull it off the putting mat. And so I'm obsessed with this thing point, like where I legitimately now think that the senior tour is in play for how I'm rolling. Like I think all of a sudden I'm going to be incredible.
The thing that the spider has taught me, because I've got one as well, is that I don't think they could put too much weight on a putter for me. Like I want as much weight on that thing as I can get. I don't care if there's an anvil at the end of that thing. It just helps keep it straight and like you don't go offline because it almost doesn't let you. So my spider, I love that thing as well.
Yeah, and look, like we're self-admittedly probably below average equipment guys. Like most people that are in golf, or a lot of people that are in golf, as we've learned with when we've done the TaylorMade stuff now, the people that come out of the woodwork and want to know, they're screenshotting what putter we're holding, what wedge we're holding, what driver they notice. The average golfer appears to be more of an equipment head, a gear head, whatever you want to call it, than we are. And now that we're getting this taste of the equipment, like it's
I get it.
It consumes your life. Like I get it. And I'm looking now too. And I was thinking today, I said, my buddy Jeremy, my high school buddy, one of my best friends in the world, we've done golf trips together, and he's legit. We're now 3 days into this down here. We played Mid Pines, Pinehurst number 2, Pinehurst number 4. And he's legitimately like mad at me because of the driver. And he's like, you and I can't have our match until I get the TaylorMade stuff. He's like, this is bullshit. It's like if you're playing
it's like playing 2K and not 2K having the best
and somebody's got a controller that's like offline and you're like, I can't play. And then the other guy's got one where the ball just goes dead straight and far. But they're like, this doesn't matter. Like I could be the smartest, best, most coordinated video game player in the world, and I can't fucking beat you. Like this is bullshit. And he's mad at me. He's like upset.
Playing hickory clubs. He might as well be playing hickory sticks.
And dude, you should hear me on every tee when these guys hit their tee shots and they just don't do what my ball does. And I'm like, wow, you've got that plastic technology. Like, what are you guys doing with that? I don't even know. Like, we're not equipment guys, but now we are becoming, and it's hard not to, hardcore equipment guys. And I just, again, we've been fitted before. We've done equipment deals before. This is like, it's a joke. It's laugh out loud funny, and it's making golf so much fun to play.
Frankie's point is hysterical from last show of the fact that we went to the Kingdom, got fitted, and legitimately didn't do like a what's in the bag or like nobody knows what we did is one of the biggest misses, but it allows for some more content next time because, the fact that like we didn't share that shaft, anything is simply amazing. But yeah, I am so excited about using this putter. It's incredible to the point that I'm trying to humble myself and being like, no, you're still probably going to struggle a lot. But at this point, I think that if it's within 10 feet, I'm going to make the putt.
It is short range putting with the spider is to me completely life-changing in the putting game. I'm still working on the lag putting, and that's what some people say. But like I wasn't a great lag putter before anyway. So it's not like it's not like lag putting, I was lights out, and now it's like, no, nobody's lag putting is just really hard. It's not something you practice very often. But inside of like 8-10 feet, if you just have the line with the spider, it's like impossible to miss. It just like you just can't miss. And again, there's a reason that DJ, that Rory, like all these guys, all these guys in the top 5 are just using it. There's a fucking reason that they're all using it. So
correct.
I actually, when they pan to somebody that's using a blade putter now, and I've been a spider guy for about 3 days, when they pan to somebody on the coverage that's using a blade, I laugh. I kind of give a disapproving, almost a sarcastic laugh of like, why would you just be using something inferior when you're playing competitively? I don't get it. It's like, is there like a challenge that he's doing on this hole? Why aren't they using the spider? It's crazy town that somebody would use it.
How much distance do you think you picked up on the
Dude,
driver?
So my buddy Jeremy has always outdriven me.
Jeremy, I mean, you can't say that name without me thinking of Jeremy the song, which is just crazy. But go ahead.
It is weird that you can't do, but he legit has always.
Yeah.
Give it to him. If you're gonna do it,
Go ahead.
Always outdriven me by at least 10 or 15 yards at least. And the first 2 rounds that we played, especially today, it was cold and rainy, so it was hard. You're just trying to survive. I was hitting it on good holes like 15 to 20 yards past it. And he was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on? You don't hit the ball this way. And it wasn't, sometimes I hit these slappy, like low hooks that I'm just trying to get, but dude, I'm just swinging freely. And it's just this high towering ball that just stays in the sky forever. And people are legit they're like talking to other groups. Like, are you fucking seeing this pathetic motion that this human being puts on the ball and what it's producing in terms of ball flight? Is anybody looking at this? It's a joke, and it's making golf very fun. And maybe it's a chance that I'm just, for whatever reason, like my swings just, because we always talk, every time we tee it up, we're a different golfer. Like my golf swing is totally different. So there's a chance I'm just going through a 3-day stretch where I'm swinging it really great. But it's pretty fucking coincidental that I got my Sim 2 on Saturday, first round I played Saturday, and I've just been driving the ball like a stallion. So if you want to connect the dots, that's what I'm doing. And it seems like the club is helping a lot. So it's extremely exciting. All right. We got, like I said, we've got much to get to. The Pat Perez Scramble, 4-man Scramble will be out tonight on our YouTube. We're going to be in the chat, as we always are. Frankie's favorite place in the world. So you might want to take some medicine or something, Frankie, get yourself mentally in the right place to handle the chat. But this is probably top to bottom, we all agree, probably our best 4-man Scramble video. Pat Perez is a phenomenal character. He played great. It was true north, so it's like a little bit target golfy. So he didn't have to play defensively like Kisner had to play. He could just go at flags, and he made a million birdies. We played probably the best we've ever played, and we were all drinking and having a good time. So this Scramble video, again, I think, and with the ending, is going to be hard for us to ever top.
Yeah, and we were talking in the group chat the other day just with everybody, and Jake, our producer, even said, like, this is where we finally just like figured out what we were doing. We've done enough scrambles at this point. We figured out how to shoot it. Like you said, Riggs, we played well. Pat Perez played well. And like when you get a guy like Pat and Joel was the same way, where they're characters and they're very genuinely funny, they're just going to be talking the whole time, and they're wearing mics, and we have cameras on them. So you get to see all of that with the ending, everything. It's definitely the best scramble we've done so far. So you just have to watch it. And you're going to enjoy yourself. Again.
Yeah, we got the cart cam back. We've got a bunch of good cameras on this one. It's just a really good video. Pat is just like you're saying, it's a combination of everything, but I think more it's just finding the right golfer on the tour that really can like open it up, because aside from that, that's just us 4 guys playing with someone that doesn't want to play there. And Pat wanted to play. He wanted to play, wanted to win. And that makes a huge difference. You'll see that in the video. It's really cool to watch a pro try and beat us. Like he tried to. I think that's the big difference between a guy just showing up.
Well, why are you saying Joel just kind of showed up?
No. I'm saying that's what makes this series just like really good, because we're finding people that like really like are grinding over, like trying to win. I mean, Joel definitely had different headspace that day, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
like he was just out to lunch at one point. I mean, it wasn't really, but you kind of like teed that up for me.
He was like wearing sneakers, and like it didn't feel like Pat showed up, got a range session in. Like we all hit our balls in the first, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be a problem." But then he stuffs one, on the first, and then you go through the day seeing examples of, I think, each of these people that we play with, but you start seeing examples of why they're pros and why you're not. Like, at one point we're like, oh no, that's good. And he goes, no, I need to make this. And then, you can watch to see out if he does, but like you just see that and you're like, oh no, you have a drive that I guess I don't have, and that's why you're so good, because it is. He was wildly impressed to see hit the golf ball. I mean, he was hitting irons that were just on a string that just when he hit them, you were like, oh no, that's going to go exactly where he thinks it's going to go, because
And
that
look,
thing is just online.
Like when you see a person like Kyle Morikawa in person play, it's not necessarily surprising, or it doesn't shock you, because you know how mature and locked in and dialed in throughout his whole life. It's like every meal, every minute, every thought exercise is all geared towards playing the best golf any human can play. And when you see a guy like Pat Perez do it, Pat Perez is boozing, he's cool as fuck, he's all about his Jordans, he's got this crazy house that overlooks all of Scottsdale, and he likes to have drinks at dinner and he's drinking wine with Coke Rack after a Monday at the tournament, and he's just like kind of, so when you it's a little bit, it slaps differently a little bit when you see a guy like Perez stand on the fucking tee and stripe the ball just as impressively as a guy like we just mentioned, like even like a fucking Tiger or like a Morikawa. Like he's on that level. He's won on tour through, like him doing that right in front of our faces while having a screwdriver in his hands and laughing it up and that was stunning. And the juxtaposition between his character and his personality, and then his ability to be an elite athlete in the world of golf and doing all that at the same time, was just downright impressive.
Right, like we'd be on a tee, and you're gonna see all this. So, but like he'd be talking, drinking, we'd be on a tee, we'd all tee up a ball, hit it, and then he'd stop talking for a second, throw down a ball, not even tee it up, and hit a 3-wood and just go right by all of us. And it was
I don't think he teed a ball up the whole day.
Didn't tee a ball up the whole day.
Fucking crazy.
Fucking rope these 3-woods that he's just different, and you're gonna see it. You have to watch it on our YouTube. It's just so good.
What's crazier, the fact that he did that, or this fact that I read today, that the dark
back? Is Frankie Facts back?
The dark side of the moon, we never see it. It always rotates with us. The moon that we see, the light side of that moon, is always in rotation and axis around the sun with us in our vision, that we actually never see the dark side of the moon. It's not like it turns and then the dark side becomes the light side.
There's no way that that's true.
That's what I got. Someone messaged me that, man.
No.
Tell me.
You know how Frankie Facts work. It's facts.
I've never seen.
It's facts before fiction. But Derek Cape said, man, I got to tell you something. He goes, we've never seen the other side of the moon because it rotates at the same rate as the Earth. We always see the same side. So the term dark side of the moon came out.
What if I travel to China? Then I'll see the other side.
That just can't be right. That could go down as the dumbest thing said on the podcast.
Well, no, because
you're just traveling around the same globe.
We're all on this Earth. We all
You're not getting around the moon, bro.
The same rock. China's not a different rock.
China would have to be off of the planet.
China would have to be on the other side of the moon.
This is what I'm hearing. The fact that we are rotating the same pace as the moon. So if we're looking at the moon and it takes us a day to rotate, takes the moon a day to rotate, then if I traveled to the other side of the globe, when it was sunlight for them, it's obviously dark here. So it would be the same for the moon. So then I would see that dark side that I would see would be light, yada, yada.
The way I'm looking at it, and this could be wrong because I don't know anything, but
someone fact check this.
The Earth always has one vantage point on the moon, and nobody else has a different vantage point than that.
Right, because what you're not getting, Lurch, is the moon doesn't just rotate, it also moves. So if it's like moving at the same rate, right. It's not like people in China, if you can't see the moon, that doesn't mean you're just seeing a different side of the moon. Like you just can't see the moon, right? Like, so China, if China's on the other side of it, if China's straight that way right now on the other side of Earth, they can't see the moon because Earth's just in the way.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, sometimes you do see the moon on a sunny
that'd be
day,
like I'm looking at the ground right now,
yeah,
and
what's
the
that
moon
about?
is like that way. But
what's the deal with
Earth
me
is in
seeing
the way.
What's the deal with me seeing the moon on like a sunshiny day? It just appears.
That is fucked up. I agree.
I don't know.
That's some bullshit.
I listened to.
I'm going to reject this fact. I'm going to be the first person to come out and just say this fact is inaccurate.
I listened to that motherfucker Neil deGrasse
Jesus.
Tyson.
Relax.
Yeah, he's a mother effer, man. He is so smart that you need to talk aggressively towards him. Like
You like him? Do you like him?
I don't know how I feel about him. He is so incredibly cocky and so incredibly smart and intelligent, I think. Like he just knows such an array of things.
Yeah.
That it blows your mind. And I don't know that he knows everything perfectly, but his knowledge knows no boundaries.
He's a different one because he's also a showman. He's smart, but he's great when he goes on a podcast or when he goes on a show. He'll let you know how smart he is, and he is super duper smart.
So I listen to him on. I'm just getting into Rogan, and I know that's like how we're just getting into YouTube. But
I was gonna say, did you know we're on Facebook? Have people heard about Facebook?
So, but
Greg is like, I stumbled upon this podcast. It's the Joe Rogan experience.
This guy Joe Rogan knows how to fucking talking to a mic. But I went back and listened to like all of his best episodes, and that Neil deGrasse Tyson one is one of them, like one of his first ones. And like you could just tell that just like we don't know, like me living on this earth, I don't know enough about what's going on. I just don't. Like I don't know 1/1,000,000th of what Neil knows.
Right.
And that's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like microwaves. Microwaves actually heat up the molecules of water. So like the plate will never get hot from the microwave. It only gets hot from the food getting hot. A microwave cannot heat up a solid with no liquid inside of it. It's impossible. It actually it takes the molecules.
Hot.
No, but that's not from the microwave. It is absolutely not from the microwave. It's from the food on the plate getting hot. And this is something Neil deGrasse Tyson says, and you want to fucking swerve off the side of the road because he's talking to you like you're an asshole. But it's so fucking smart. He's like, yeah, there's fucking molecules being shaken around in a way that the food gets hot.
I mean, the science thing, as a podcast, we should avoid because this room, there's not many answers. There's just a lot of questions. This is like the show.
It's super interesting shit though, bro.
It's amazing.
He's talking about like Christopher Columbus knew astronomy and knew that there would be like a blood moon. So he has this book that's out that's like it's a fucking asshole name of a book. It's like why the universe helps the war or something like that. I don't know.
I tried to read one of Neil deGrasse Tyson's books, and it's the book where it's like the dumbed down version. He literally made a book, I'm pretty sure, that was for dumb people. It was like astrophysics for people in a hurry.
In a hurry. Astrophysics for people in a hurry or something like that.
Right. So that's like, he's definitely trying to dumb it down for us. I read 10 pages. I threw that thing away.
Right, anyway, real quick, we don't have to get into a whole thing, but like he says like Christopher Columbus knew there would be a blood moon, there would be an eclipse, and there would be a blood moon. And he when he came to America, he's like, I need these supplies from you, or wherever he went, I need these supplies. And they're like, no, like this is all of our supplies. And he's like, well, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to turn that moon red.
Oh.
And they're like, fuck you. And all of a sudden the moon turns red and he's standing up on top of a fucking mountain. And they're like, well, there's the devil. Like, I mean, yeah, like what is going on? How did he know that? And they just gave him all his crops and he went on his way. So it's like he claims there's a lot of instances where people used astronomy to win war battles and move on and increase their cells. It's been quite an experience for me trying to get more knowledgeable about the Earth.
I like Neil deGrasse Tyson because I like that there's people that are that much smarter than me. Like that makes me feel comfortable.
Have we fact checked the moon thing yet?
Let me tell you this. Have you guys heard of the Battle of the Eclipse before?
I think you're right about the moon thing. I gave a quick look at that, and it looks like the fact that you only see the dark side will always be, for our intents and purposes, we'll just never see that side.
That is unacceptable.
So
I
agree with you. Huh?
Turn the light on from the fucking...
You do a few things. So one rotation of the moon is about the same as a day. So maybe you see a little bit of it here and there, but it's seemingly foolproof.
We need a huge mirror.
And maybe that's why we all should know less than this guy Neil, because like I don't need that on me. You can keep that fact. I don't want to know.
In that episode, he starts talking about our calendar, and I'm not even going to get into it. Like why we need leap years, and
Nope.
the second leap year brings us back.
Beep, beep, beep.
I like Riggs. I like the mirror idea. Like, forget about like trying to figure out what's inside of a black hole. I want to see what's on the other side of that moon. Let's launch a big old mirror out there that's got lights on it, and then, let's all pull together for that.
Somebody just hold it up. Just get a crew to just hold that bitch up, and we could just see the other side of the moon, and then we would know. Instead,
dude, what if we get a fucking spaceship up there and you just blast a light, and there's just a whole world of people like, oh, like, fuck, dude, like, what the fuck? They're looking at the light like, oh, turn the lights off. It's like, it's been here the whole time. Just a fucking world.
If we're gonna do the astronomy thing, I have to bring it up, the Battle of the Eclipse.
That sounds unreal.
Which is something that I heard, I believe, listening to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, which I've mentioned on the show before. But it was, I think, like the 6th century BC, and these two armies were, these two nation states were in like a 6-year war, and they were finally coming to a head. It was a massive battle, and unbeknownst to them, it happened to be on the same day, like right in the middle of the fucking day, as a massive solar eclipse. And as they're fighting, the sun just disappears, and they were so beholden at the time to the gods and astronomy and stars and that they ended up, because of that, they called the battle a draw and settled a gigantic peace treaty, because they were like, holy shit, the gods don't want us to go to war, so much so that the sun disappeared in the middle of our battle. And
yeah, I mean, like, what else would you think is going on back then? Like, the fucking sun goes away.
Right. Like, imagine how much of a fuck you it is from the gods that in the middle of us deciding to fight, the sun just disappeared in the middle of the day. Like, that's never happened in the history of the world. Like, no documentation. The sun doesn't just disappear. It comes up every day. That's one of the more cliched things in the world. Sun just comes up every day. Today, we decide to battle, and the sun just disappears in the middle of the day. Let's call it a draw. Let's sit down at the table, and let's come up with a treaty.
That's fucking incredible. That is fucking incredible.
It's brilliant.
Dude, all this shit blows my mind. One last one that I've been talking about like crazy. Now, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson's way of thinking, but you could think of religion or whatever, but if you go the way of like people in Pangea and the way that people like moved around the earth, and so they came from like Asia, and there was a land bridge that they were actually able to cross over during the Ice Age, and they came into North America, right? So like that's how they think that happened. Now, well, what happens I'm speaking like Neil now. He goes, what happens after the Ice Age happens? The waters rise. And now you have a population of people that are stranded on a new area of the earth that they can't get back to where they had first originated from, right? So we have like evolution. We have like our eyes, our ears, everything's the way that they came from where they were. Now, if we stayed on North America, South America, this whole area, and no one like Christopher Columbus, bad dude in the fact that he stole like people's land and like fucking brought over diseases, which Neil deGrasse also says he brought diseases back with him. But if he never comes here and sees this, right? And finds this area, and these people are stuck on this island by themselves and don't reconnect with other humans from that area of the world. He claims that if tens of 20, 30, 40, hundreds of thousand years go by, that it's a new species on this side of the earth. Like we adapt and change because there's no human interaction with another. So basically, like, humans interacted with humans again when he came back to this continent for the first time in thousands upon. You know what I mean? Isn't that fucking crazy?
Right.
Like the world connected again, and he's wondering like what would have happened had the world never connected.
Because like a certain continent of humans could have just evolved and veered into a different species.
Like his point's like kangaroos have pouches in Australia because they're just like that's how they are over there. And like wolves and dogs and like they change from based off of like your climate and your change. But now we like intermixed, and we'll always have the human species.
No one on earth is more scared of anything than Jake Bass is of kangaroos, by the way.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Okay.
I have my hand
I
up.
don't have the answer, but go ahead.
how long does it take to like evolve a new species? Like, let's say everybody
Long
just
time.
locked away.
Long time.
Yeah, did he give a date on that? Like, is 100,000 years? Like, as
I
a
think it was
social experiment, if we just push people off to Greenland, like, said like, no, you can't talk to them for 100,000 years. What happened?
I bet if you put, yeah, I mean, I bet if you put like, I mean, they would never survive, but if you put people on just like an island for 100,000 years, they would absolutely change and adapt.
That's
I
interesting.
think. You don't think so?
No,
I
I
don't
think so.
know. I don't know the
I
answer.
definitely think so.
The
I
way
agree
he
with
said
you.
it was
I think it's
made
crazy.
very much sense, where like everyone came from this one area.
Right. I get it.
They got separated, and now it's like, all right, now it's your turn to now be like that kangaroo where you can now grow a pouch. But instead, in time, they came back around the other side of the earth and they mated, and now we
Yeah.
mate all over the fucking
Think
planet.
about how fucking long 100,000 years.
Oh my God.
Right, because the problem is the people who come up with the idea are not going to come anywhere close to seeing what happens.
No,
I mean, like, we're talking the Roman Egyptians and stuff were what, like 2,500 BC? So that's
correct.
4,500 years ago. We're talking 100,000 years ago.
Right.
That's a joke.
How much our brains have evolved in just 100 years, I feel like. Just advances in technology, modern advancements. It's like what you can do in 100,000 years is just, I don't know. It's just crazy. So
You know what you could do? You come up with Owens mixers.
there
That's
you
what
go.
you do. You
What an
evolve.
advancement.
You know, your brain gets to such a level where you create something as amazing as Owens mixers, which I got an Owens transfusion right now in a Pinehurst cup.
Very
And
nice.
this thing's
Jealous.
Wow.
You go to Amazon, okay? Big price drop. You're going to like what you see on there in terms of price, in terms of quality, in terms of your options. So do yourself a favor, go on to Amazon, order yourself some Owens mixers. You order right to your home. You get next day delivery, or you go out to the store. You go to owensmixers.com. They got the store locator on their site, so you can just figure out, hey, I'm going to drive up. I'm going to get a little stock of Owens for the next several weeks, next several months, whatever it may be. They've got the mint cucumber in line, which is my favorite. Lurch's favorite. He's a big Paloma guy. The big fella likes the grapefruit, puts that in with a little tequila. I, again, prefer either transfusion, maybe a grapefruit in lime with vodka, but it's that simple. You get a little ice, you get a little liquor, you put it in with the Owens, and boom, you have an awesome cocktail. So big thanks to Owens Mixers. Big thanks to all their support. They actually sponsored and supported our match against Pat Perez. So you're going to see them tonight when you jump on YouTube, watch the match against Pat. That was with Owens. So big thanks to Owens Mixers. They've reinvented the game. They realized that the mixer game was slacking. It was lame. It was tired. It was outdated. And they came in, redid it, figured out what, folks like us, our generation, like to drink, and came up with a bunch of good options. So go check out Owens. Go to Amazon. Get it delivered right to your home. Go to their website. Go to our website. Get the transfusion. It's very, very, very delicious. PGA of America has alerted players that Southern Hills Country Club in Oklahoma, Tulsa, will be the 2022 PGA Championship venue instead of Trump Bedminster. So there's a little bit of a note there. Gil Hanse came in and redid it a few years ago. It's the first time I ever saw Tiger Woods in person. I've told that story a bunch, but Oklahoma doesn't necessarily get the most golf love of all time. There was pretty much hinted that it was either going to be like there or maybe Bethpage Black or maybe Liberty National. Ultimately, it's going to go to Southern Hills. So that place looks awesome. I don't know that we have to go into that a ton, but a nice little news bump there. Siwoo Kim won the American Express yesterday. Pretty wild finish. I mean, they go low out there, obviously, but like Patrick Cantlay came in and just shot a 61 on Sunday, a 61, 11 under par,
Low.
one round of golf.
Fucking low.
Yeah, I think he was. So Lurchie's loose picks 0 for 5 this weekend. Not a great.
You can't even
Cantlay
say it
was-
with a straight face anymore.
Dude, how about I know you're going to go to your loose picks unless you don't want to, but how about
Cantlay was 67 after Friday, and I looked at him and I was like, no, I'm going to go to the boys that I like. So I went with people that I know. But I regret that decision.
dude, how about Doug Gim T5, where early a month ago we were talking on the show about season predictions, and I think it might have been Lurch who was like, I think Doug Gim is going to get himself a win this year, and kind of got laughed out of the building. I know Doug Gim is our guy. he's dealt with injuries in the past, so we don't really know what to expect. But he played great this weekend.
I bet you his odds went up significantly from when Lurch said that he has a chance to win a tournament this year.
Well, because I was going through people because we were amazed, like, the talent pool of golfers is insane. So I remember scrolling down and he was at some outrageous number, like 280 or 360. I forget what the number was. But I was like, that's a guy that potentially could win a tournament. And then lo and behold, he gets damn close and gets T5. I mean, good for him, because I think the coolest thing about golf, it's like a natural market. But for those guys trying to make it, they're looking for one of those big results to get a big check, to validate their year, pay for a lot of expenses, and continue the golf journey, because it's not easy by any means. So congrats to him on a huge finish.
Yeah, Dougie, with a $247,900 payday for a top five. It's his first top five in his PGA Tour career. And he does have the amateur pedigree. He finished low am at the Masters. He told a bunch of good stories about that when he was on our show. He lost to Doc Redman in a 36-hole wild finale at Riviera in the U.S. Amateur Final. I think that was 2017, where, Doug, I think, was 2 up or 2 to play and had like 5 feet for birdie on 17. And Doc Redman made like a 70-foot slider for eagle to win that hole and keep the match alive. And then he made like a 10-footer for birdie on the 18th hole, which was actually the 36th hole, to produce or to force a playoff, and ultimately won the playoff. So like, you get somebody that damn near should have won the U.S. Amateur and then finishes low am in the Masters. Like, you're as good of a amateur golfer as you could pretty much be. And now that he's gotten on tour, like we said, he had a couple injuries. It's not easy to transition from college golf, amateur golf, to playing on the PGA Tour. And now he started to play well. He had a good finish in Bermuda. He's posted some good rounds here and there in the last 4 or 5 months. And for him to finish top 5, super cool. So good call by Lurch. It would be awesome if Doug Gim won a fucking golf tournament. That'd be amazing. But a really good finish from him. Tony Finau, sort of the opposite, where it's like, dude, you're really good and you need to win some of these tournaments. Tony Finau's stats now, he finished 4th place, another really good showing. He's made a ton of money. He seems like a very happy-go-lucky guy with a nice little family and all that. But he's got the most top 10 finishes on tour since the start of the 2016-2017 season. And he's got 35 top 10 finishes without a victory on the PGA Tour since the beginning of the 2016-2017 season.
It's awkward. It's super awkward with Tony Finau. And he's those stats you just read off, he's starting to turn into like the Wayne Gretzky of not winning, where he's starting to put up, you see these stats and you're like, I can't believe that. That's incredible, but it's for all of the wrong reasons. And we've had this discussion before, because every time Tony's in contention and it doesn't end up winning, we have this conversation where, yes, finishing in the top 10 that many times is awesome. You're going to make a ton of money. You're going to be living great. It's going to be awesome, but you just got to win again at some point. Otherwise, this is going to continue to be the conversation where you're so talented, you're so good, you're always there, you're in contention all the time, but why can't you just win and make all of this conversation go away? Because it is starting to get awkward.
For him too, it seems like Rory, I feel like, has like a Sunday thing. Like even in Abu Dhabi this past weekend, he got outdueled, I think shot even par, and Tyrell Hatton had a great day and ended up winning. But I feel like Rory's is solely like Sunday. Sometimes it doesn't pan out for him, where Tony feels like he puts together like 4 solid days. It feels like, for the most part, it doesn't feel so much prior to the weekend or the weekend that he struggles. He just doesn't win, but he always comes up in the top 5, top 10. And obviously when you're talking about getting paid, he's getting paid. But it is weird that he's not coming out on top for whatever reason. And I don't know what that is. It doesn't so much seem like Sunday nerves. It just seems like, he's just not getting it done for whatever reason.
Just got to get it done. This can't be your brand anymore, Tony. It's just like, you got to just get it done.
He missed.
We talked about it with a lot of guys. He missed a couple of horrific putts. He started out birdie on Sunday. People were like going crazy. Tony Finau tracker, Colby, was firing off fucking bang bang emojis. And then all of a sudden it just fucking
Dude.
Ooh, it's just a free fall. Tony's like going down the cart like me and Trent in that fucking Joel Damon video where he doesn't give a fuck.
Colby is one of our longest tenured tech guys, and we have been talking to him about Tony Finau since we started this podcast.
It's been 4 years.
Colby is a guy who just wants Tony Finau to win more than anything, to the point where, like Frankie's saying, anytime Tony is in contention, he changes his Twitter name to the Tony Finau tracker, and then you get to watch it. And it's sad because Tony will be playing great Friday, Saturday, and Colby's tweeting all these bird emojis, and it's an exciting time. And then Colby starts to get more quiet on Sundays as Tony misses these makeable putts, and it's really hard on our guy Colby. And that is the number one reason I want Tony Finau to win, because I want Colby to finally be happy.
And look, it's a little bit tough because, looking at this past weekend, this past Sunday, like Tony Finau tees off, he's right there, tied for the lead. I mean, he shoots 4 under 68, finishes 19 under for the week. And these other fucking guys, Siwoo Kim shot 8 under 64. Patrick Cantlay shot 11 under 61. Cameron Davis shot 8 under 64. And it's like, you gave up. I mean, dude, he shot 4 under on Sunday. He gave up, 7 shots to Patrick Cantlay? Like, he picked up 7 shots on him, and you yourself shot 4 under 68. So it's not necessarily, and yes, he's got those makeable putts that he misses, other guys he made, but it's got to be frustrating. And it's also clearly, once it becomes a thing, it's
right.
that much harder to get over. Yeah. It's like Frankie with his chipping. Like Frankie, no, like now that it's a thing, it's actually significantly harder than if it was just normal. You actually but everybody's thinking about it. You're thinking, everybody's like, people from fucking 4 fairways over, like, oh, Frankie's got a 30-yard chip.
Now that it's a thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like originally I brought it up as a joke like 3 years ago. I'm like, I haven't been hitting my wedges very well. I feel like I have a butter knife in my hands. And now the longer and longer it goes, the more I believe in it, like very much so now. It's just fact that it becomes a thing. So maybe Tony's just accepted the fact, just like I have, where it's just like, yeah, like this is what happens on Sundays. When I grab a wedge, it's like, that's what happens to me. And when he gets up to the tee on Sunday, it's like, yeah, I have no chance of winning. And the other thing that someone has no chance of, or that has to keep doing it, Colby now can't go a tournament without betting or putting anything on Tony Finau. It's just like when you do the lottery. If you're a person that, for the Mega Millions or Powerball, and all your life you've picked the same numbers, right? 8, 13, 24, whatever your birthday numbers are and shit, and you do that consistently, you have now signed a warrant. You've signed a contract basically with yourself saying that you have to do this every single time now, because the one time you don't do it, those numbers are coming out.
Yep.
And Tony Finau is winning. And then where's the nearest bridge? Like, it's just like, get me in my car. It's over. Because you can't, like, I'm sorry. He cannot not ride Tony Finau from here on out. It's been 4 years. He's got 34 or whatever top 10 finishes. You have to keep riding with the guy. I don't care if it takes another 10 years. You have to.
Well, and the first week that he does a bet on him, he's going to win. So
exactly.
Like, you have to bet and cover yourself for when that happens. But ultimately, and it is tough because it's like, he's doing great. It's very difficult to finish top 5, top 10 on the PGA Tour, to do it week in and week out. He's doing it. He's making a ton of money. Good for him. But it's got to be absolutely infuriating. Tyrrell Hatton, which was mentioned earlier by Lurch, wins in Abu Dhabi. 5th. He's 5th in the official world golf rankings. He is the 5th ranked player in the world. Now, he's won a decent amount on the European Tour. He's clearly won some events on the PGA Tour and in the States as well. But that name being a top 5 name, like we did this a couple weeks ago, we went through who's not going to be in the top 5. That is, who do you think is going to sneak in there at the end of the year? Tyrrell Hatton being top 5 in the world feels like one of the most shocking names there's no way that most people would guess that man's top 5 in the world.
Also, one of those names you want to say Tyrell, you want to say those names like a million different ways, and it just doesn't feel right when you say Tyrell, even though I know you had a little thing with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I said this was probably 3 years ago at the Waste Management. I was doing a bunch of little quick hitter interviews, and I think I said, like, yeah, we're here with Tyrrell Hatton. and he looked at me in the most disapproving, you dumb American bloke look of all time. And, you know, he is, I think it was a little sarcastic, but also like he's playing it up. He likes to be a little awkward, almost like Seinfeld, Larry David-esque. Like he kind of likes that type of humor, but he immediately was like, what did you just say? And I was like, I said Tyrell. He's like, it's Tyrell. And I wanted to be like, well, no, you're just like not pronouncing the consonants correctly in your fucking name. What do you mean?
It's a tough road to go down.
It's not Tyrell. Like that's preposterous. You're not a fucking figure in Game of Thrones. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, we had a little bit of a thing.
This is gonna sound mean, but it's actually a compliment. That's not a top 5 name. Like when I think about Tyrrell Hatton, I think he's very funny. I think he does have a dry sense of humor. You'll always, like every couple months, a clip will come out of Hatton like being funny or hitting a bad shot and saying something funny. So for that guy to be in the top 5, I actually feel like he's like a genuinely funny and interesting guy who just like got into the top 10 where he doesn't really belong.
Did you guys see that video that the European Tour put out? I watched the whole thing. It was fucking hilarious.
Yes,
of like the anger management.
Brilliant.
Angry golfer, right?
Tom, what?
That was an angry golfer.
Yeah, it was like an anger. It was like an anger management, like anonymous or whatever. And it was so. Tommy Fleetwood was incredible. Ian Poulter was incredible. Whoever, if you haven't watched this video yet, go. I think the European Tour just is like one of the best content makers in fucking all of sports. It's crazy. I don't know who they got over there, but they get their players to do amazing things. Like they actually get their players of their league and their tournaments to actually make funny, entertaining stuff where like a company like us doesn't have to go in and like there's not a market for us for the European League. Like they do it on their own. But like PGA Tour and whatever and like an MLB and NHL, like that's why there's like the Spitting Chickens of the world, because they're so like tight and they don't fucking get it. Like fucking European Tour gets it, man. I want to have a beer with those blokes. I want to drop some words around them. You know what I mean? Those guys are fucking funny. It's a funny video. Stop what you're doing and go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Well, I feel like that's what like the takeaway was from the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup rather is, or like after the Ryder Cup, they felt like they were just like funny, good guys. And the Americans didn't come off that way at all.
Yeah.
I felt like. And so it seemed
anything
like
with an accent. Anything with an accent's always just better. Like that video with a bunch of Americans is fucking stupid.
Right.
But
like Poulter, I agree with you. Poulter came off when he just kept pulling out awesome pictures of himself. That was such a contrast to all the other anger men. Like it was very, very funny. Like so yeah, they just do a good job. And you're absolutely right, Frankie. Whereas like if the golf media, the sports media landscape had been as on top of it 15 years ago and all the way through as the European Tour is, like Barstool Sports wouldn't exist. Like
they just get it. Like there's no like we just like in America, like everything has to be so fucking like you see it in comments, like what's the score? And like where are the stats? It's like what, dude? Like there's a fucking guy with his shirt off and his tits out at the baseball game. That's what we're talking about. That's what Barstool Sports is here for. Not some fucking. I'm not talking about the guy who had 2 doubles and brought in an RBI. Go read fucking ESPN. Like that's what they don't get. And the European Tour gets that. They're like, oh, how can these guys get a hole in one with unlimited tries? Let's go fucking make them stand on some fucking tee box and do it for the next 7 hours. Like a professional athlete. Like we're going to force them to do this for this funny video. Like they actually get it. It's a fucking joke that no one else gets it. I mean, American sports couldn't be and leagues couldn't be more opposite than the European Tour. European Tour is the funniest tour and professional sports league in the world. And maybe like the Premier League does the same thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about like European sports, but maybe they just have a better sense of humor than America.
Right. Most American leagues, all their social media reads like the newspaper.
The Islanders do this, like bring out the dancing lobsters thing. And it's like, just take my phone and run over it with a fucking 18.
Remember when the fucking Blues did their little their video on the plane with the Office? Oh my god!
That's the other thing too. Is that somebody said it was somebody who worked here? I think a long time ago. That's like mom laughter. That's like if a mom finds that on Twitter.
This is so cute. Holy shit!
That is cute and funny, but the European Tour is looking for the younger people who like some with a little bit of an edge, something that's got some thought put into it, and it's gonna like make people laugh. That the European Tour, they're definitely
They were cursing in the video, like a sanctioned actual video from their tour. They were cursing in it, and they were putting bleeps, but like they were encouraging the guys to drop curse words in it, which is just like that's the difference.
Yeah.
Someone on the European Tour wrote in a curse word in the script to put in their video. And like, that's just such a difference. We can't even put in the word shit sometimes in like in American fucking videos. It's crazy.
As one of the 4 hosts of this show who knows that my mom is listening, I will say that she would not have found that type of humor funny. So I'm going to give Mom, I love you. I know you're out there listening.
I didn't want to take a shot at the moms. I'm just saying. No, don't.
Your mom's gonna come downstairs and bring you upstairs again.
Oh yeah, my mom will yell at me. She will call me and yell at me, being like, "What are you talking about on that podcast?" But you know what I'm talking about. Some of the content these leagues put out are tailored towards like it's just getting laughs from people who just aren't on the internet.
It's safe. It's just safe.
I just wanted to defend a few of the moms. I bet you're right. It's a little bit mom type.
Did you guys realize in that video, by the way, the fucking one empty seat was John Rahm? That made me laugh so hard.
That's so good. Little details like that. That's so good.
They were like, all right, thanks to everyone for making it. And then they pan to the one empty seat. It's just John Rahm's written on it. It's just so fucking funny. So funny.
That's literally office level humor funny.
Yes.
Like, that is.
Dude, I honestly think they brought in the people who like did the British version of The Office. Like I feel like they brought in what's his name to write that script.
It was so funny. 2020 was quite a year, but you are still together and in some ways stronger than ever, in spite of all the baking fails, all the sweatpants, all the working from home. Your relationship lasted. Because 2020 was so hard, we are making this Valentine's Day really easy for you. Long-lasting flowers for a long-lasting relationship, whether she's your girlfriend, your quarantine boo, or you just don't know what to call her yet. You cannot go wrong with flowers. That is true. You're going to need to get ahead of it, because if you wait till last minute, you're screwed. You're going to fail. It's going to be a mess. You're going to blow it, and that's not going to work out well for you. This Valentine's Day, celebrate the Books Company, handpicked and sourced directly from the farm. Their flowers stay fresher much longer. The Books Company is nationwide and offers next as well as same-day delivery. You skip the hassle of the search. Finish your Valentine's Day shopping in one click with their Quickie Book. Hit the one-click roses button at the top of their homepage, and a bouquet of seasonal roses will be added to the cart, ready for checkout. It's that simple. For those who prefer more selection, they have you covered with a variety of beautifully styled bouquets, plants, and gift bundles with pairings such as chocolate, jewelry, candles. Don't forget the other women in your life either. They're
beautiful. I'm sorry, beautiful bouquets. Let me just tell you something about bouquets. I got bouquets sent to my house.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, and my lady friend shows up. My girlfriend comes and she goes, "Who are these for?" I said, "You." And she's like, "These are the most beautiful fucking flowers I've ever." Dude, these things are so crazy. She's like, "There's like 24 of them." I'm like, "I know." I'm like, "Isn't it?" I was like, "I know. Isn't it amazing? Like, this is fun." Dude, I literally walked in at the same time as her. I was like, "I know. This is nuts." I'm like, "I was waiting for you to take them out of the box. Like, no problem." Like, dude, little does she know that I asked what was on the box first. I'm like, "Oh, who's that from?" Like, what is that? She's like, "Oh, it's Books." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is." Dude, these fucking flowers made it to Instagram yesterday on our Instagram story with like, like a song in the background, like My Light, Frank Sinatra, like that's life, that's life. Like just fucking a slow pan around them. Like, fucking sparkle. There was a sparkle on them, like a little effect where they fucking sparkled. Let me tell you something about Books. They are up there for me right now. They are such a good wingman. Holy shit.
I love the thought of you quickly add that math up in your head.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, yep, no problem. Yep.
Books. Oh yeah, of course that's Books. I got those for you.
Dude, they are so nice. They're like yellow, pink, orange. They're huge roses. Huge. Dude, my mom saw them. She shrieked. She was like, "What?" It was crazy.
Visit Books.com/4. Use the code 4 for 25% off. That is a serious discount. It's going to make you a hero for Valentine's Day. So visit Books.com/4. Use the code 4. You're going to get 25% off. That is BOUQS. Again, BOUQS. Books.com/4. Code 4 gets you 25% off. LPGA Tour, the Diamond Resorts, they also had a phenomenal finish with some huge names. The Korda sisters were very much in the mix to the point where Jessica Korda in a playoff got her 6th LPGA Tour victory over the people's women's golfer, Danielle Kang, who's been on this show many times. Kang over the last 6-8 months has been playing fantastic golf. She won back-to-back late second half of last year, going into kind of the U.S. Open stretch where they played in December. She won a couple tournaments in a row, been playing great golf, had a phenomenal week. Jessica Korda coming in with a diabolical finish on the first playoff hole, makes an absolute bomb for birdie to get the W and get the win. So anytime you got some of those bigger names and some of the girls that we know that we've had on the show, like Danielle Kang in the mix, it's very, very much worth noting. We've followed a lot of lady golf on here. We've had Danielle Kang on 5 times now, Trent, that we've had her on this show.
I mean, at least, yeah.
3-5 times, whatever the hell it's been. So good to see her continuing to play well going into the year. And the Korda sisters, they just bring it. They've got some star power. The two of them playing together, having been together in like Solheim Cup, telling, I think it was Nelly that was saying, if I could take any part of my game from my sister, it would be her putting. She's like anything inside of like 10 feet in the Solheim Cup, she was just automatic. Of course, she goes and makes a bomb to win in a playoff. So LPGA off to kind of a hot start, and Jessica Korda, who's got a good story of being like a star, but she was going through some trouble. She ended up having like total like jaw surgery to kind of like fix her migraines and a lot that was going on there, and has come back out now. And I think this is her first win in almost like 3 years or something like that. Maybe since somebody's 2017 or somewhere around there. So anyways, it was a very, very good finish. Some big names down the stretch. And so man, we had an incredible finish on the PGA Tour, incredible finish on the LPGA Tour, and Tyrrell Hatton, Rory McIlroy going at it on the European Tour, plus the European Tour putting out the video. So there's just a million different fucking tours. It's kind of like what you get at this time of year with a lot of different hot action. Rory, like Lurch was saying earlier, came out and started his year with a 64, I believe, in the first round. And Rory's weird, man, where yeah, it feels like sometimes you can't close. Then other times it feels like in majors, like he can't play on Thursday. Like on Thursdays, he just comes out of the gate and chokes and then tries to, and always does, backdoor top 10, right? That's like the Rory cliche, is the backdoor top 10. Yet he came out and I think overall, like Rory said, this is as good as he's ever felt going into a new season. So for Rory to come out, fire that 64, have a good finish. I think he ended up finishing solo third. Good signs for Rory going forward.
Very win a major.
Yeah,
I think he's going to win a major as well.
Quick fact on the Korda sisters. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Mm-hmm.
Their brother, this kid Sebi, is one of the bright American tennis stars.
Really?
I don't know if you knew that, but
I
yeah.
saw Nelly like Instagramming about him a couple weeks ago.
Nelly, one of the sisters. For whatever reason, my mind went to the singer. I was like, "What? Brush your shoulders off," or whatever he sings.
You're a written word guy. I think you're just more of a written word guy.
Who, me?
Yeah, I think pronunciation and just like when I say names, if I would have written that word out, Nelly, you would have been like, yeah, Nelly Korda. But when I say it, the pronunciation to written word, I think there's a disconnect in your brain.
No, I think Nelly's a single, like the Nelly, the singer, is one of the few single named referred to people out there. Like when you say
we're
Nelly,
talking about the Korda sisters.
Tiger.
Right, I know. That's my fault, and I'm taking the blame on that one.
Elvis.
But anyways, if she
Madonna.
did, I think Fritz,
Prince.
who's one of the other tennis stars.
They share.
Huh? Trying to go through all the one name people in the world.
Yeah, like Kobe, Shaq, those individuals.
Yep. Cher for sure.
LA.
Michael.
LeBron.
Is Wayne?
No. If you just say Wayne, there's literally no way Wayne is it. I mean, Gretzky, obviously, but that's just his name. Like, That's his last.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? Where it's just like your last name? Like
I don't
everyone.
think you get to pick that.
I think
You don't
what,
get to pick
what
that.
we were talking about was all first names, right?
Right.
Yeah, or like nicknames even.
Yeah.
Single,
Wayne
right, like,
for sure not. If you just go up to someone and be like, you see Wayne the other day, they're like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Like Wayne could be like your dad's friend.
Wayne could be your
Yeah.
mailman. Like, did you see Wayne? Like, you see
All right,
Wayne?
all right.
No, Messi's.
Um,
I guess that's his last name.
Leo, I don't know. No, because there's Leo
it's all-
DiCaprio, there's Leo Messi.
Fuck. I mean, we're definitely
But
missing
anyways, yeah,
massive
rising
ones here.
tennis star.
J-Lo. Well, that's just her nickname.
No,
but
it's just that. That's
People
a
are
whole
driving
name.
around right now, rattling off dozens that we haven't seen.
Oh my
there's got
god!
to be one like Madonna.
Screaming, say
is
this
just
name.
her name.
How do these idiots not know this name? It's like, oh no.
Anyways, you should have known Nelly was not. We
Right,
weren't
and
randomly talking
so-
about the rapper.
My point to that is, I think there was this another tennis star, this kid Fritz, or his last name is. He was talking about them, and then I looked into it. I was like, oh shit.
That's a good athletic family. Didn't their parents too? I think their parents were like
Bono.
tennis players.
No.
Could be. I don't know. I didn't look into that far, but I mean, there's got to be some athletic genes in that family.
I'd like to get into tennis. I like tennis.
You got into it last summer, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it tore my labrums.
Tennis is
So
fun.
pathetic.
It's a great workout, but it's tough because you can't. It's not like golf where there's any way to handicap it. Like if someone's
No.
better than you, a little bit better, they just win every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Riggs. It looks like the Korda parents were world-class tennis players. The dad won the Australian Open in 1998,
Jesus.
and the 25th ranked women's tennis player at one point.
I mean,
Wow.
the dog
God.
is fucking major.
That house is just different than mine. Just different.
No
My
doubt.
dad's out here making fucking pizzas, and it's just they're fucking like if they drop like a fucking glass, they're sliding like they do on the tennis fucking court, and they're catching it, and they're fucking on their toes all day long. You wake up, you better be alert. Bananas are flying all over the place. That house is crazy.
It is
like
always interesting when
you need a granola bar, boom! It's like it's just fucking like it's crazy that house.
it is always interesting when athletic parents actually do end up having super athletic kids. Like I know that doesn't like it should be surprising the other way, but I feel like it doesn't work out as much as it should. But when it works out, it's really pretty incredible.
Well, it's like when two beautiful people have another like beautiful baby. It's like, come on. Like usually at some point, usually it's like the opposite. Like two just fucking grotesque humans pop out just the hottest person in the world. But like, it's just sometimes people just have the right things, man. Like families just have it going for them. Like that family has it going. Everyone knows that family too on like a lesser scale. Like I have a family like that. We have a family like that with our family, and they're just everyone's perfect, picture perfect family.
Well,
Money,
there was always the
lacrosse, hockey,
yeah.
Bucknell. Ever heard of it? Cornell, all these places. Just like fuck you, dude. I'm going to East Meadow High School. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, there's always the
Peter's
family
doing this.
in
Like,
high school where it's like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, he's a basketball player. Oh, he's a track star. Oh, she's a soccer star. It's just like,
fucking
me and my family were just like, we're a bunch of fucking losers.
prom king, prom queen, fucking valedictorian, the whole thing. They'll probably all end up in jail or something. Who knows? You never know. The story's not written yet.
Yeah, true.
Other news I got listed in my headlines. Brooks Koepka, funny little like run here for Brooks Koepka. So Brooks Koepka last week in his little presser or just a little interview was asked about what would be a successful week. Koepka, of course, a year and a half ago had a stretch where he won like 4 majors and 8 starts, and he started to throw, chirps left and right. He going after Bryson. He went after DJ, the PGA last year, and he's Brooks Koepka. We all get that. We know that. He trolls a little bit. Great. Well, Kisner was coming a week off of him being asked, you can win anywhere, can't you? And Kiz said, probably not. Said, why even show up? He said, well, 20th pays pretty damn well out here. Well, then Brooks Koepka last week was asked what would be a successful week. He said, to win. I'm not here to finish T20, though I've heard that pays pretty well. Brooks Koepka went on to miss the cut and has since split with his longtime coach, Claude Harmon III. So I'm not trying to say that the karma's a thing. I'm not a religious fella or a spiritual fella, but just I figured I could alert the audience to those facts, and you can make up your own decisions.
The missed cut and the splitting with the coach aside, that's a funny comment from Brooks Koepka. That's a very, because at the time, I bet him and Kiz are buddies. And I remember at the time when Kiz said that, and I said that Tiger has spawned a generation that everyone says, I want to win. That's like Brooks poking at both things.
And I saw one of the top comments on either Twitter or Instagram on that was like, I bet the person that got the biggest belly laugh out of this comment is Kevin Kisner. So it's like, I didn't take that as malicious either. But I just thought that was funny and Brooks has got a little bit of egg on the face. Yeah, I mean, he's Brooks fucking Koepka. So how much egg on the face could he possibly have? Like, good looking dude. He's got the greatest life in the world. He's down in Florida.
He's smashing eggs on people's fucking heads.
And he's a guy who probably can win anywhere.
Yes. Oh, he totally can win at literally any golf course in the world.
Right.
So in terms of like egg on the face, it's all relative and it's all kind of a joke. But he did, like I said, had the comment about DJ where like, well, actually this guy ahead of me at the PGA's only got one major, so I'm not too concerned. And then he had like the worst final round of anybody that was in contention. And now you get this same kind of thing where he's like, I'm not here to finish T20. And it's like, actually Kiz finished T37 last week, but he made more money than you because you missed the cut. So you could like split it anyway. I don't think it was that malicious, but just a couple updates on Brooks Koepka.
I respect a guy who keeps shooting because after the DJ thing, he could have never said anything ever again because he was like embarrassed, but then he comes right back the next season and is like he comes at Kevin Kisner with the T20 chirp. I think it's all I don't think it was malicious at all.
No, I think it was good fun, and like I think it's great. I like reward it and think it's like, to Frankie's point, or when we were talking about anybody from like Europe and those guys and how funny that commercial was. I think like we need more like this little funny banter is excellent. Like I think that's all good. Kisner, I doubt, takes any kind of ill will towards that, and it's just kind of good, like lighthearted, jokey nature. And I think the joke, like for those the people that don't get the joke in the room, it's like the media who play that up to being something way more than it is.
Agreed.
Need the banter,
right? Just humor.
They mic'd up someone the other day. Like it's also amazing. Like the Bruins do this thing where they like show once a week, like behind the bee or something like that, and they'll just put in like on ice, like just like banter, and it's the best content that comes out of like American sports all week. And like the other day, like one of the guys was just fucking giving it to, I think, Subban or someone. It's like, I'm in your fucking kitchen. I'm in your kitchen, 7-6, like going crazy. Finally asking, like getting him to punch him in the face, and it takes 2 minutes. It's just so funny. But like, if the media saw that, like to your point, where it's like, oh, Subban and whoever this was, like Konechny, and don't like each other. It's like, no, they don't. They actually just are like going after each other on the ice, just like Brooks probably wants to see kids out there and like say something on the golf course just to get a little laugh out of them or get under his skin. Like they're fucking competitors, they're athletes. Like, let's go. It's as long as it's all like in good faith and good fun, who cares?
Yeah,
that's not to go on this at all, but that's just where Bryson does not get it.
No, you smash egg on his face, he's licking the fucking yolk.
He like if Brooks had said something like that, something Bryson said, and he has in the past on multiple occasions, Bryson goes into a rage and tries to hit a ball 250 miles per hour. Like that's like Kiz and Brooks are two guys who get it. Bryson is like, what?
Dude, whenever Bryson's up with anything like that, inside his brain, someone like jumps and hits the fucking buzzer, like, no! And they fucking go crazy in his brain. Like, let's go!
Right.
It's fight time!
He gets it 0%.
He starts blinking a million times. He's like, well, I just don't like, and it's just like, no, dude, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
He does need a guy like that. He needs somebody who sits next to him, and Frankie did it pretty good there, where if anybody says anything to Bryson, they say, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Joke.
Bryson's like, but what?
He just doesn't physically and mentally understand where I'm coming from. It's like, well, it doesn't fucking matter, Bryson. It doesn't matter.
It's a joke. It's like a hold me back coach on the sideline.
Dude, his videos, Bryson, of him hitting these balls, I hate the Bryson that I just explained, but I fucking love the Bryson that I see on Instagram hitting these fucking moon balls in this wherever contraption he is at Cuomo's what's his name? Cuomo's house. He is swinging so hard that it's unfathomable what we're watching. There's a couple of them that he's just like and he's fucking I can't imagine how much torque is going into that ball. It's numbers are off the charts.
It's so different from anything that golf has ever been about, that watching him do it, there's a certain satisfaction of, it's driving people crazy. The traditionalists, the purists, old man golf media, it drives them fucking nuts that someone is training like a world-class weightlifter, that they're huffing and puffing like a fucking reindeer before they're about to take off, trying to get that energy up, trying to get that mojo up and swinging as hard as he is. It is so different and contradictory to, finesse and rhythm and all this bullshit that's talked about in your golf swing. And here this just psychopath who's put on 80 pounds of weight is swinging as hard as he possibly can. He's literally coming out of his shoes, spinning around like in a circle and swinging as hard as he can. It's so contradictory to all that other stuff that you can't help but love it, even if you think Bryson's personality and the way that he interacts with the media and the fans is so far off. You're right, Frankie. We're like, you just can't help but sort of laugh at it and love it a little bit.
Dude, it's amazing.
I just hope that there are cameras rolling where he is. Like, I hope that there's somebody in there documenting this. And I hope, and if there's not, let us come in there and bring cameras, because this is something the world needs to see. And it has to be an outside source, because if we let Bryson do it, it's going to come off like his preparing for the upcoming 2020 PGA Tour video, which was the weirdest video ever put on the internet. So I just want the cameras roll wherever Bryson is during all of this.
Dude, speaking of swinging hard, and I'm gonna have to put this on Foreplay Social. I'm gonna have to send this to Jake, and I gotta get my buddy's friend to get him to agree to put like the consent or whatever. There's a video from 2016 that's floated around my friend group, like of this kid's dad. And I was just reminded of it yesterday. And if I could just play the audio of this dude, he's like out at like a fucking golf outing, and he's like swinging a golf club for what it looks like the first time ever, but also like you could tell the guys in his group are trying to give him a lesson. And he swings as hard as he can. Just listen to the squeak that happens in it. Listen to the squeak that happens on this first swing.
Left shoulder back, take it back, the left shoulder behind the ball. Whoa.
Stay down.
Swing easy. Keep your head down. Head down. Swing easy.
And he hits it 3 feet. You guys are listening to this audio right now. Go to our Foreplay, wherever it's going to be. You are going to fall in love with this video, because it's what people are going to try and do when they watch Bryson DeChambeau. It's just like, let's swing as hard as we can, and we're not going to be able to do it. He's going to change the game forever, Bryson. And we're going to see a lot of stuff like this, which I love. It's high comedy. No one can replicate what Bryson does, and that's never going to change. He's going to be the only person in the world that can do this, because he's the only psychopath that's willing to do it. And let's just accept it for what it is and ride this thing, because it's fucking hilarious.
He is, he's just always going to be tough to figure out. And like we said, we're personality wise, sometimes he seems really nice and great and friendly and gets it. Other times he seems way off, but his game and his antics are ridiculous. So he still must watch, and he pretty much always will be in the world of golf. Yep. Okay. Next up, we've got Pat Perez. We talked a lot about the 4-man scramble already. We've had him on the show a handful of times. One of our boys, one of our closest guys on the PGA Tour. And damn, can he play golf. So we're going to talk a little bit about the match, about what he saw out of our games, and just generally what that entire day was like, where we played golf with him for the first time. And then we went back to his house. His wife made dinner for us, and we all hung out all night long. So we'll get into that. We'll talk a little golf. We'll talk a little 4-man scramble with Pat Perez. Reminder before we get to that Whoop. The Whoop train is something you need to be getting on. The PGA Tour, they've entered a long-term partnership with Whoop, as well as the PGA Tour champions, because Whoop's important, man. It's very, very game-changing for monitoring your own body, your HRV, your heart rate, your recovery, your sleep. All of that data tells you as a human being where you're going right, where you're going wrong, what you need to be doing differently, how you can become a better person. Your body is your temple. You've heard that a lot. And you need to be monitoring that motherfucker so that things don't go again too awry. And nothing is better than Whoop. It's the best wearable on planet Earth. You can go and get 15% off by going to whoop.com using the code FOREPLAY at checkout. One word, FOREPLAY. Go to WHOOP.com, enter code FOREPLAY at checkout, and you get 15% off. But they monitor your respiratory rate, which is allowed and help members detect potential signs of illness before other symptoms develop. Whoop can help anyone perform better. Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, they were very, very early on Whoop and have been sort of big-time spokesman for all of the good that it can do and that it can monitor. And we've got our own chat or our own, I guess, group as well on Whoop, where you wake up, you look, see how much sleep recovery we got. So there's a cool community aspect to it. They're also going to be in the future in terms of like Whoop Live. They're going to be putting out all kinds of content with golfers' heart rate in real time, which is something that we talked about. God, maybe I think it might have been back when Trent and I were just doing the show alone. For all I fucking remember, it was years ago. But the how fascinating it would be putting and knowing real-time heart rate information on people while they're trying to hit golf, because all you hear for decades, we heard Johnny Miller, nerves. Well, guess what? You can just fucking see it on Whoop in real time. So they got a lot of content coming out from there. So whoop.com, use the code FOREPLAY, one word at checkout. You get yourself 15% off. We love the Whoop train.
All right, folks, we're joined for God knows the 8th, maybe 10th time, who knows, by one of our favorites, one of our boys, Mr. Pat Perez. We have a video coming out tonight on the ForePlay YouTube channel with Pat Perez, live from Torrey area, San Diego, where it sounds like it's kind of a shit show right now.
It is today. Tomorrow's supposed to be all right, but there's another storm coming in, I think, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that could suck.
Who all you're with? Who all's at the crib tonight?
We got Jason Smoke Rack, Coach.
How we doing?
Speckle.
And we said prior to the show that that we have to make this a common occurrence, because every time we have Pat Perez and Jason Kokrak is on the side eating Doritos, he wins. He wins a month later.
This doesn't keep itself.
Wins a month later, so it's a pretty good little recipe for success. A Dorito, month later, fucking PGA Tour win.
There was red wine last time too. Pat was complaining that Jason doesn't fill up his glass.
Always got the red wine.
Elders.
Pat matches his wine to his Jordan fucking cutoff.
Have to. It's too hot in here. God damn it. It's 1,000 degrees. It's 20 outside, but hot in here.
You guys have nice setups there, huh? Nice. What is that, an Airbnb?
Yeah.
Look at that fucking
we rent a house over here. Not bad. Pretty cool. We got the view is unbelievable outside.
You guys on the water?
We're right in La Jolla. I mean, it is unbelievable outside.
Frankie and I are in Jersey and fucking Long Island.
We're wearing a knitted hat inside. That's how you know that we're just going through it right now.
No, we set the mood. We got the fireplace. Someone might get lucky later. We don't know.
Life ain't bad, man.
Pat, how's your game feel right now? Because when we saw you like a month and a half ago, and we talked about it a lot on the show, but you were just wildly impressive to us in every way that a person could be impressive. You were drinking your dick off, you're laughing, yet you would step up, not even tee it up, and then just roast ball after ball. You shot like 66 with a vicious lip out on 18. So we were wildly impressed with your game. How's your game to you feel right now?
It's coming. Drew and I put a lot of work into it last, really month and a half, and just trying to get rid of all these bad habits I've gotten into over the last 5 or 6 years. And it's just, it's repetition. The more you do it under the gun, with shit out there, water, OB, all these things you don't want to hit into. But eventually you got to trust it and you got to start doing it. And, last week I hit one out of bounds and I hit it, missed the green, and I made an 8 on a par 5. It essentially took me out of the cut, and, it's getting rid of bad habits, but you can't really get rid of them until you trust it on the gun. So, I hit more good shots now than I've hit ever. But unfortunately, when I hit a bad one, it's always like the wrong time. So, That and the fact the fucking cut is 4 under every week is something else to be. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, every week's 4 under, no matter where the hell you are. It's incredible. But my game's good. My game's good. I feel like it's gonna be just a matter of time for it all pieced together.
Our producer's texting us to ask you to turn the TV down if you can, because the volume's coming in.
Where's the bone? I got the bone. There it is.
And on this show, which Lurch hasn't realized, we kind of just air things out live on the show. So, that sounds crisp.
There we go.
That sounds
Sorry.
really crisp. No, you're all good.
But you don't want the pumped in noise from the basketball game.
Right, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah,
what I want to
sounds
know
better
is what
than
they
us.
actually say in the basketball games to each other instead of what you guys hear with us on the golf course.
How do you guys feel about the mic'd up stuff? Obviously, that's been controversial lately. You get a lot more of it with basketball, with football, with no crowds. How do you guys feel about the mic'd up stuff?
I would love to hear what's really on that court. I got a text from Brett Hull actually about 20 minutes ago and said, why don't you talk to your union or whatever, your people, and say, turn the damn mics down or do a 7-second delay. He goes, if they heard the shit I said on the ice, I would be in prison.
Right.
But it is hockey, football, basketball, no microphones. And we know what the language is. We know what's going on down there, but they don't do them. For some reason, golf, because it's such a gentleman's game, nobody can say anything bad. And it's, I'm not defending anything that Justin Thomas said, but man, it's incredible. And that's unbelievable. And the fact that they went back and when they did the replay, they actually turned the mic up to do the replay.
Right.
So I don't know who really heard it in the first place. I'm not saying it's right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending it at all. But the fact to go back and replay it and turn up the mics and then wear them out about the whole thing, that's like, that's kind of what happens over here in our deal. If you had basketball, football, hockey, baseball, any of those other sports with microphones down there, it'd have to be on pay-per-view.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the NFL the NFL was on Nickelodeon recently. They tried that out 2 weeks ago during Wild Card weekend, and
I saw it.
Someone scored a touchdown and just was like, "Suck my fucking dick!" on Nickelodeon. Everyone's like, "Whoa!" Whoa! Someone's cursing.
You guys say those words?
Dude, it's fucking.
You guys talk like that?
The Saints versus whoever. That guy's fucking going crazy in the end zone.
I saw because I was getting ready to put Nick Jr. on for my daughter, and I saw the game was right above that channel. I'm like, what the hell's a football game doing on that channel?
And people were like, I can't believe there's cursing on Nickelodeon. It's like, don't put a football game on Nickelodeon. And don't put a microphone around any sport that is very competitive, because you're going to hear something that you may not want to hear.
I almost said that.
That's just the way it is.
And look, one of my favorite lines from the whole thing was from one of our boys that we love, Eamon Lynch, who writes for Golf Week, who is openly homosexual in the golf world. And he said, he's like, if all of us were judged by what we've said in frustration after a bad golf shot, none of us would we wouldn't have jobs, we wouldn't have lives, we'd all be in prison. So on some level, like you're saying, it's a little bit of a catch-22 where it's if you want people to have more entertainment, you want people to be mic'd up, you want to hear what's going on, then you also have to deal with the fact that we're all human. People are going to say shit, and that's the nature of competition.
Yeah. And that is true. But when you throw out, what the hell? Nothing break. What the hell broke by there?
Things are blowing in the pool.
Holy shit!
You guys under attack?
We got a hurricane.
Bro, I mean, the window is it's moving this far. I think the barbecue fell in the damn pool. And the thing is about it is, some people can do it, but when you throw out slurs of certain sorts, that's when it gets over the line of just saying fuck or, whatever. But when you throw something like that out, that's when it's okay, well, that's not really cussing. That's a stronger type of, language that obviously it doesn't, in this day and age, it plays no part in anything, and I was reading something 100%. About that Ralph Lauren, when they said they're the high, apparently it's the best company to work for the LGBTQ type of
community.
person. It's the greatest place to work for because they're so accommodating to it. So I mean, they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Rothman did not have a choice, and I'm surprised as shit that Citibank stuck in there, but that was a little surprising.
Yeah, I agree. And again, we've sort of exhausted it a lot, and you don't want to come off on the side of like defending JT necessarily because he knows, we know, everybody knows, like what he used, the slur that he used is an unacceptable word to use. So that shouldn't be in your vocabulary. The fact that it is alarming, and everyone agrees with that. But also you can be, like it's weird in today's world with social media, with Twitter. You could try to understand everything from multiple sides and why one side has a thought and the other side has another thought. And the point is, like, we all believe people deserve to be recognized as human, to be recognized as people that make fucking mistakes, as people that deserve second chances. So, in one degree, it's like, yeah, dude, you can't say that. On another, it's like, but you also shouldn't necessarily be canceled or dropped because in a moment of frustration on a golf course, when we've all been our absolute worst, you said something. So it's just interesting to hear from you guys who are actually in the heat of competition.
I can tell you right now, and you'll agree with me when I tell you this. If that's me, you wouldn't see me the rest of the year. I'd be suspended for who knows how long, dropped by everybody. The tour making an absolute example out of me in that kind of deal.
Right.
So that's just the way it is. Me being with my status and Justin being with his status, it's just the way it is. And I know that, but, unfortunately, they would make hell of more example out of me on that deal.
Right, which sometimes is like opposite, right? Because sometimes you want to make an example of the person that's like, quote unquote, a better status or whatever you're going to consider him, or like a higher status being a higher ranked player or whatever.
No, he is. That's without question. I mean, the top guys have a lot of pull, a lot of say. They run our tour.
Yeah. And
that's fine. But the problem is the tour sometimes makes a bad example. They make an example out of guys that don't have the certain status.
Right.
Pat, let's talk a little bit about the scramble. So,
I'm still pissed about that. But
crew, it's interesting because, look, you are very even keel out there, and you even were in the entire match, pretty much until 18. And even then you handled it exceptionally well. Like the way we talked about it all night, because we had an all-time night going to your house. Your wife cooked dinner. You welcomed us. You gave us drinks. And I even tried to bring it up as like, I want to try to get a rise out of Pat a little bit. Like, yeah, what were you thinking on 18? And you're like, wow, that's just going to happen. Like I hit a good putt, didn't go in, but you guys were just too good and you had such a good mindset about it. But you're a competitive fuck, right? Like you're a competitive savage.
Question.
And once you're in that arena, even though you're playing against us four knuckleheads, like what was kind of your general thought on did you feel like you should have won throughout the day? Were you like, I should be able to beat these guys?
No. And the thing is, there's multiple things. The course wasn't hard enough to where if it was longer and harder, I think I would have had a chance.
Yeah.
But, I hit one in the desert and, I made a bunch of putts. But I actually didn't go in there thinking I could beat you guys anyway. So I was going to have fun. I was going to drink. We were going to talk shit. We were going to have fun. But then when we started getting, we started staying even longer and longer and longer. Once we got towards the end, I'm like, fuck, I got to beat these guys. I actually have a chance to beat these guys. And when all you fucking guys hit in the desert on 18, and then here comes the fucking big man that hits it 3 feet. I'm like, that's not supposed to even happen. That's impossible to happen. It cannot
into the
happen.
sun. Into the sun.
If he hits it, the shit over there, it's over. It's over. I got a sandwich in my hand. I got to hit anywhere on the grass, and I win. I'm like, so, and then the lip out, that you talk about insult to injury. It was a fucking awesome day. I had a blast. I didn't think I was going to win. I didn't think I was even going to get past like the 15th hole because the course was easy and this and that. But once we did, and I still had like a chance to tie the match on 18, and when it lipped out, I'm like, I actually got heated for about 30 seconds. That's why I walked away, because I didn't want to say anything that I didn't want to say. But hey, it was fun as shit. I was glad just to take it down to the wire. But Yeah, I did want to win. As you guys want to win, everybody wants to win, but it just didn't happen.
You washed it down with
actually-
that delicious fucking tequila you had at your house. What the hell was that brand? What tequila was that?
It's a Coro. We got a bottle there.
Holy smokes!
Jordan's tequila.
Holy smokes! I mean,
That
never in my
tastes like
life.
candy. That's like
It
candy.
is candy. I drank a bottle last night. It's so easy to drink.
It was
like nothing.
just, I mean, your setup at your house is it's you're talking about adding insult to injury for us, like seeing the life that you guys live out in Scottsdale, and then like seeing that house you have was just like, what are we doing with our lives?
Yeah.
Like that's just outrageous view, the basketball court. I mean, it was just a really, really fun day. And I think it's all going to show pretty well on video tonight on YouTube when people will see just like how personable you are on the course. Like you really don't, you like didn't take anything like to heart, but like you also like I explained it before you came on here. Like you did at one point like try and win. Like I saw it in your eyes. Like you were.
It was late though. It was real late.
Yeah, but like you were like you're able to dial it in pretty fucking quick. I saw it in you. Like you're standing over balls. You're like reading greens. You walked up there with your towel. You were like fucking taking
Well,
sand
my caddies
away.
were useless, so I had to do something myself.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be a really cool way for people to see your game because, like, you can fucking turn it on like that, man. Like that.
It was fun. I had a blast. I really did. I had fun. And yes, of course I wanted to win, but, you know.
I thought, like, early when on the first tee, you were like, there's no way I can beat these guys. Everybody kind of roped them out there. But then, I forget, it might have been the third hole that you sunk a bomb, like a bender from
the one up the hill to the right.
It was incredible.
I mean, I putted good that day. I putted good, but I literally had to.
Yeah, no, but
I had to putt great, or I was never going to be in the match ever. You know, your ball hits that fucking rock, comes back in the desert. You know, it comes back in the grass. You hit it up there. I'm like, those are game changers. Between that hole and the last hole, I win by one. I mean, that's just the way it is. That ball goes in the desert. You're dropping. There's a 5 minimum. 18 if you just hit it like the other guys did. Ball's gone. I win. But that's why you got 40.
You got to think about our mental space during that match too, right? So like Trent goes, right? He goes out of bounds. Then I go and I drive it out of bounds. Now all of a sudden it's no longer a scramble. It's just Riggs and Lurch now are facing Pat Perez on the tee.
Mono.
And then like Riggs goes like a little bit in the rough. We're like, ah, shit. Now it's just like Lurch versus whatever, or the other way around. And it's so each hole becomes like 1 versus 1, 2 versus 1, 1 versus 1. It's really never 4v1.
But I never really got like an advantage. And I'm telling you right now, the shot on 18, the second shot on 18, the iron, is probably one of the most clutch shots you'll see in life. Because with 3 guys in their fucking pockets scratching their fucking balls, and the last guy's got to hit a shot, it has to count. It's got to be on grass. At least make 4 at worst. And you hit it like this.
You almost jarred
that pissed me off. I looked at the fucking range. I'm like, God damn, that thing's like 3 feet. Yeah, that pissed me off. But it was, it was fun. I mean, I battled like hell to catch up, keep up with you guys.
Lurch hit that shot prior to Pat, right? Like you hit that shot.
Yeah, no, you guys had 5 iron. I had sandwich. I mean, you guys were 60 yards back there. I mean, to a tucked right pin, and you guys fucking hit it 3 feet. I know all 4 of you aren't going to miss that, so now I got pressure to hit it, you know, like that to at least tie and then lip out. I really could have done without the lip out. I mean, I really could have. I mean, I just missed the hole, you know, or just make it. I mean, one of the two, either make it or just miss the hole. The lip out really didn't happen.
This is why I love you guys. Like, this is why I love you guys, because it's like in the moment, you know, like, you walked away for a second, but you came back, you shook our hands. We all had a great night. We drank that crazy fucking tequila that you drink. But now we start getting into it and you're ripping your hat off. You're like, I could have really fucking done without you guys getting into 3 feet. That's what I love about you guys. Like that's genuine. That's genuine competitive instinct right there.
We've got to have a rematch at some point this year. You know, we'll get it at Silverleaf because now that I know like what partakes in it, we'll do it at Silverleaf. And we'll go out there and have a fucking blast out there doing it.
100%. That'd be great.
We weren't too slow either. We actually kind of booked it out there for.
We flew around there. I thought you guys said it was going to take a lot longer. That's why it was a hard spell.
I'll say this: we hadn't gotten used to it yet. Now we have. Like credit to Jake, to Brendan, to our freelancers. Like we've had, like, dude, this was like the 5th one that we did, And the first couple, there were like nightmare moments where Jake would call like an emergency meeting with the production crew, and then Frankie and myself would be like, what are we doing? And then I would just remove myself from the situation and hope to God that it worked out.
Dude, the one we did
By
against
the time we got to the fifth one, it was smooth, dude.
The one we did against the Country Music Stars was like a 9-hour round. I mean, fucking Darius Rucker just went home.
The 4v4 takes forever. The 4v4 is like not a real solution.
No,
it takes,
that
it's
takes
like
a while.
it takes a full calendar day.
The 4-on-1 is fun because you guys actually made some putts. So once you make and then I go, I'm fast, obviously. So then we're gone. We go to the next hole. But they set it up. They did a great job. You guys will get this to where you can do it, and it'll take you no more than 4 hours to do the whole thing.
Well, the ultimate goal, Pat, is that we somehow get one spot on a PGA Tour event. Like, just give us one spot and see how we do. Do we make a cut?
What did you guys shoot that day? What do you
One
think
better
you shot
than
as a
you, my
scramble that
man.
day?
One better than you.
I don't know.
Well, 65?
Yeah,
Something like that, probably, yeah.
Well, if you shoot 65, you say, yeah, you're going to fucking win.
Right.
Depending on the course, but it also depends on the course. Like
we play Torrey.
Easy.
You put us in Torrey Pines.
Torrey this week. If I put you guys at Torrey this week, you're not making the cut.
No way, bro.
See, I think we do. I think we make the cut.
Yeah. You're not making the cut. I hate to tell you that. You're not making the cut. This fucking place is so hard. It's 7,700 yards, which is your disadvantage because you don't hit it long enough. That's the thing. You may hit it straight, but there's par fours you're not going to get to, no matter who hits it. I mean, some of you, Lurch hit a couple that were good and this and that, but once you start to get this way, it's going to be hard up and down. I mean,
You can't play for that.
it's not. It would be difficult for you guys to make the cut here. I promise you. This is the only one back. You get guys like you get courses like Hilton Head or I don't know. It'd be actually fun to see you guys. See
Hilton Head. Hilton Head's kind of a.
So if you had to pick two of you to play the Zurich, the 2-man, who would be the 2-man team? If you only got
Lurch
two.
Lurch and Riggs.
So do you think you guys should make the cut in that 2-man thing?
No. What?
Fuck no.
No way.
No,
we're a 4-man show.
You're right.
You can't split up the team. We're a 4-man show. So if Torrey wants us to have us out, all 4 of us go, and I think we make the cut. I think this group. We played Pinehurst number 2 from the back, and we shot, what, 1 or 2 under? What did we shoot at Pinehurst number 2?
We shot like 60, 69, probably 68, 69. But we also pulled shots out of our ass then.
I'm going to give you it's around even money. I think you guys are a little bit of a. I think you might be a plus.
Dude, he is right though. You start spraying it on really long golf courses, and we're hitting.
Yeah, it's a mess.
210, 220 into a green from the
problem
rough.
is if you get to a hole like 12, let's say fucking 12, right? And you got 10, 12 mile an hour into you. If none of you hit the fairway, you're going to have 135 left for your third shot.
Right.
So more likely it's a 5. Okay. The next hole is 641 yards. If you guys all miss the fairway there, now you're dead because you got probably 490 left for your second shot. Now you got to try to get it play. Your third shot on a par 5 is going to be like 220 left.
Yeah, but Pat, we got the Sim 2 now. Like we're not missing
Yeah.
the fairway.
I got the Sim 2 in there, baby.
How good
It's
is the
fire.
I
It's
saw
so
that actually
fire.
on the swing.
I know
I was in a good day.
I know Pat can't talk about it, but we can talk about it. The Sim 2 changes everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, I got Coker kind of one dialed up today. I think he's going to hit it 20 farther than he does, which is fucking scary.
Yeah, it's a weapon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Should be illegal.
Yeah, it's strong. It's definitely strong. Yeah, it'd actually be fun to see you guys to see if you guys could make the cut. I would really be interested to see because I'd come out and watch just to see the stress. Because you're talking about now, you're not talking about beating me. You're talking about trying to make the cut.
Yeah.
So you guys start fucking. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, these courses are no joke. They're both about 7,500. Torrey can be even longer. I mean, so do you guys think you can make the cut in the Open, U.S. Open here?
That's what we're thinking about. I think we can.
Yep.
I mean, we're going to be out there, and they have to give us this option. We got to talk to Craig. We got to try. They have to. They have to. They absolutely have to.
Dude, I
We
know
are
it
a
sounds
force
like a
on
joke.
tour.
We Right. We are becoming a name. Like, we want in on these tournaments.
So
We
let
don't
me
want
ask
the
this
money.
question.
We don't want
Let
the
me ask
money.
this
We
question.
want to bring the entertainment value.
Pat, if a random dude came along and beat fucking Pat Perez and he beat Joel Damon and he beat Kevin Kisner, you'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? And that's us. Collectively, that's us.
It's Guyza. Guyza. It's not guy.
No.
I
It's
didn't lose
the
to a
Fore
guy.
Man Scramble.
Let me ask this question. Do you think you guys could be not nervous enough to actually play with the great Tiger Woods in a 4-man against 1 and actually beat him?
Oh.
Or do you think you'd be
Tiger
so
would kill
fucking
us.
nervous to
He'd
be
kill
around
us.
him that you
Cat
couldn't even
would kill
fucking
us.
hold the club?
I'd
Dude,
shit
Cat
my
would
pants.
beat us.
Trent couldn't even speak to the man.
No, you guys wouldn't fucking
Dude.
beat him because you'd be so goddamn nervous just to be around him. You couldn't beat him. There's no way.
First hole, he'd rip a fucking stinger off the first tee. He'd do like a little fucking twirl, and we'd all go crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd be like, it's
And then
over.
you're not
We'd be
gonna
like,
be
it's
able to hit
over.
anymore.
No, it'd be over.
No. Also, you'd want to show Tiger that you're not just inadequate completely. So then, with that, you'd be chunking, spraying it left and right. It'd be a night.
Yeah, I've seen the movie. I know.
I mean,
happened.
That
Now, here's
happens
another
to
thing
pros
about the
too.
US
That's
Open.
not
Let's
just
say-
us losers.
Let's say you 4 guys are playing, but the fans are all back.
Mm.
So you've got like 15,000 watching you guys.
No, we kill them. We get physically injured. I mean,
Well,
we
that I
are a
do know,
one-man
too.
show.
So that's what's going to make you guys even more nervous. Is the fact you got all these people chirping in your ear, yelling at you, laughing at you when you hit a bad shot. The fucking confidence goes like this, just nosedive. So that's
However,
another
those
part.
people-
You're not going to make the cut.
Those people could help us in some chances because when we spray it, I mean, it's a 4 call, but those are just like rocks that you saw to keep the ball in play.
Dude,
I would like to see it. I think it would be fun to watch. But I don't know what Tori, I don't think you're pulling it off.
Dude, I heard
Here's
I heard
The
Kokrak back
US
there.
Open
chirp-
or
Either
Yeah.
one. The what? What happened? Riggs?
Well, I heard Kokrak back there chirping us. Does he think he could take us out? 'Cause
you don't
I
want
mean, we've never
You wanna play
fucking
him?
lost. We've never
You wanna play
lost we've never lost to one of you professionals.
I think Kokrak's in for the challenge, but the problem is if you have to drink as much as he drinks on the course, you guys don't need an ambulance. You're not even
You guys are
finishing the
done.
match anyway.
You guys are done.
This boy can flat out drink. So if you have to drink the way he does, you got no prayer.
We're in.
Tell that coward we'll take him down anytime.
Put your money where your mouth is. pal.
Okay,
Well, he's
sounds
close
like
to
a
you
man.
guys. He's Cleveland. We can put this together in the summer.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
play
yeah.
Firestone. See how you guys
Oh.
do.
Firestone, get that rough about like yay.
Yeah.
Deal.
You guys got no fucking break.
Done.
That'll be fun. That'll happen.
Actually, we should do it at my home track and just I'll wax your ass there.
So,
Nah, we don't-
let's
we
get
don't-
away
it smells
from
like
that.
it smells like there's shots being thrown. So
Also
I mean,
sounds
we're-
to me like you're trying to find the best situation for yourself instead of just
yeah.
picking a
So
course.
I
and
went
just
to a
beating
course
it.
I never played.
There you go.
Never played the course. We were on even ground.
Whatever you guys pick.
For our
I'm,
match.
I'm down as long as you go shot for shot, beer for beer, and
Mm.
other for other.
Dude, look at my frame, man. I'll literally get carried off on a
You
stretcher.
don't want that. Hey, by the way, how's the chipping?
It's a nightmare. You saw it.
Bro,
Dude,
you got to get a
you-
mat. Get a mat and a net.
Dude, so they actually fit me with a high toe one at TaylorMade, and they were teaching me the toe down chip just to stop
Yeah.
eliminating my wrist. They're like, just putt it around. Like when you're around that fringe, just fucking putt the thing with the chip with the wedge.
Bro, we
Stop
had it for
fucking
like
around.
10
A
minutes
mat-
there. What happened? We had it for
think
10 minutes on the range.
A mat and a net is gonna fix this lunatic? Are you
It's up
kidding
here,
me?
dude. Pat, it's up here. You watched me on the range. You're like, this kid's
It was
sick.
unbelievable.
And then I told you, hole one, first chance I get with a wedge, I'm gonna fucking blade it. And what
Fucking
did I
knife
do?
central. I
Knife
mean, you ended up in a
Central.
fucking knife store. I mean, it was horrible.
Dude, it was a
Knife central.
thousand miles an hour across the green, right into the fucking bushes. Holy shit!
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
All right,
It was
Pat.
fun, though. It
Hold
was
on,
fun
quick
as shit,
question.
though.
So
we will
you
do it
always-
again. We will do it again for sure.
Yeah,
we
we'll
need
do a
number two.
rematch. And
I think
wanna
we got
play
a
your
new.
boy
I think you got a
Jason.
new match over here sometime this summer.
Big
You can
time.
play me anytime you want. Why don't you guys put up or shut up? You said you've never lost. Why don't you play Pat and I?
Ooh.
Oh, come on now.
No. Let's not
Alright,
change
alright,
the
alright.
equation.
Come on, bro. You guys are
Jason,
fucking
don't
shoot.
be
Get killed.
ridiculous.
What would you
I
guys
said
shoot?
You've never lost. It's about time.
You guys are shooting 57.
No, he won't.
We're hoping to it. We're hoping to at the
finish.
Zurich. That's what we want to do at Zurich.
Are you guys
That's what
teaming
we're
up?
hoping for. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I need somebody who hits their driver really fucking long, draws it, and straight.
Well, yeah. How about that hype show he hit at fucking Shadow Creek on 18?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for over there. He hits that driver like that, we're gonna be doing nice.
Hey, you always never tee up, like, or was that just because you were playing with us? Like you like threw the ball down?
No, I don't ever tee up. I don't know. I get shit all the time about it. Drew's on me all the time about it. I actually had Trump on my ass about it too.
It's
He's
a stunning thing to say.
why don't you tee it up? I go,
Yeah.
look,
3 iron.
look, now, I know you're the president,
tee.
but don't fuck question my shit here. I said, I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, you had a
No, I
3-wood.
didn't
You
say
just threw
whatever.
the ball down and ripped
No,
it.
I don't know
fucking-
what. I never teed up the ball. I don't know what it was. And the shittiest conditions I grew up in, you think I would have teed up the ball, but I never did. I just always.
There's another person as caddy.
I always put it on the ground, and everyone's like, "Why don't you tee it up?" Because I hit too far up on the face when I tee it up. Really, the only thing I tee up is my driver. That's it, and I tee that like that high, which is incredible. But
Right, it's completely different.
I never tee up an iron ever. I don't know why, but Jack said you're supposed to tee it up.
Dude, I tee that thing up like 2 inches in iron, and it changes everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get 18 chances, right, to fucking put the ball in the air.
I don't know. I don't know why. I just never have.
Hey, I think it's working, bro. I don't think.
Never have. I probably never will.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you picked the right choice.
So that match is when's that match coming out? Fuck,
So
Tuesday
podcasting
night.
world, this comes out tomorrow, so we have to talk as though it's happening tonight. You know, that's a little look
Yeah.
into our world.
Right. We say tonight, even though it's not tonight.
So
It's
8
tomorrow.
p.m. YouTube, fucking Pat Perez, 4 Man Scramble. You guys are gonna love it. It's over an hour's worth of fucking incredible content. We got the cart camera. You're like, what the fuck is this thing? You're looking at it.
I
You're
didn't
like,
even see that thing for like 3
Yeah.
holes.
yeah.
I'm sure I fucked up something on that camera.
No, it's all perfect. I
Sure, I
mean, you were
said
funny. The crew was good. Everyone was good. So go to YouTube for that. I know Riggs is outside. I don't know if we're wrapping this thing up. He's still at the fucking cradle. So
I'll talk all night. This is the best part of my week.
I can't believe you're out there. I don't even know how you have service.
Dude, look at this fucking golf ball I have right now.
Holy
That's
hell.
crazy.
Thing is lit.
Yeah, it's a glow ball.
Oh, there
Oh,
he
See that
is.
there it
thing?
goes.
I'm back. You see the glow ball?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's all,
So Pat, question for you: what would you
Shoot.
be more shocked by, though? Us making the cut at Torrey, or seeing us 4 idiots take a hack on the range and telling you that we beat you, Joel, and Kisner?
Well, Joel, I'm not that. Kisner.
I mean, that's
it
shocking.
is surprising that you lost all 3 of us. And you beat the other group, which doesn't really count in my book, but because we're on our own. But yeah, I can't believe you beat us, which is it is upsetting. Now I start thinking about it more. I'm actually more pissed. But
I thought I overstepped at the end.
I would
You were
love to
walking
watch
off
you because
and
I would
said,
watch you guys. I would come out and watch you to see what you would shoot on this conditions at this course right now. I don't care what you're playing, scramble, to see if you can make the cut. But I think it'd be more funny to watch you guys step on your dicks while you're playing with Tiger in a 4-man scramble, just to see how nervous you guys are around the man.
Well, that's the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is for us to play a 4-man scramble against Tiger. Will we ever get there? Probably not. But I agree with you. And our whole point is that we want to be, and let us tee off an hour before anybody else. It doesn't matter.
What the
Like,
fuck's the fun in that? You got to get worn out the same way we get worn out.
No, but my point is that we don't want to be negatively affecting anything. We just know, for a fucking fact, because you just said it, we all know it, that the entertainment value is there. Like, can these 4 schmucks who all have a weekend hacker type game but can kind of piece it together as a 4-man scramble, can these 4 fucking knuckleheads make a cut and compete on the PGA Tour as a 4-man scramble? People want to know.
How the fuck you guys got one shot that always came together is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I do think the aspect of playing against ourselves and like an imaginary number of where we think a cut would be on Thursday and Friday would get into our head more than facing one person 1v1, as opposed
Like
to
if you guys had to finish the last 2 holes of Torrey in 7, which would be a birdie and a par, it's over.
Right, but like at least when we face you, it's like, all right, he's making a par here.
Yeah,
at least
exactly.
we can take the foot off the gas. Like when you're playing just against
you can
a
chunk
number,
one on the green and 2 putt
you have
from
no clue.
45 feet, and that's
you have
it.
no clue what you got to do when you're playing against yourself.
So
we'd have to get up against the number early. If we didn't get up against the number early, it'd be a mess. Like if we were trying to get birdie, like play the last 2 holes, 1 under.
But I'm telling you right now, if I didn't putt the way I did, that match would have been over in like 14
You were
holes.
lights out.
It would have been 14, 13 holes easily. It would have been over. Well, you guys are not that fucking easy to beat. I promise you. And I didn't beat you.
You are amazing on the greens. You were amazing on the greens.
Well, that day I was. So not to shift gears, but I did see your thing with the other guy. Did anybody watch the Tiger thing at all?
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah, we watched it.
What did you think in the end? Because I know you had the guy on, but I didn't see more on that.
Well, I'll start. I thought that overall it was not a hit piece. I thought it was a little heavy at times on the salacious and not heavy enough on how amazing Tiger Woods is, especially the fact they didn't even touch on his charitable contributions to the world, to kids, to all of these different people. So I thought that was some bullshit. But I thought generally you have to tell the story of Tiger Woods. I thought they did a better job than people were giving them credit for, but I still thought it could have been better. And ultimately at the end, when I'm watching Tiger Woods walk away from Augusta National as the champion, winning the 2019 Masters, and they're playing the words of Earl Woods, I was pretty much hard/emotional and excited. So I was pretty fucking excited.
I explained it to somebody today that the highs were really high and then they went really low with the lows. There was no real medium. They would like stroke him off and then they would fucking beat him up down at the bottom. And poor Earl, this fucking guy didn't even get it. He didn't give you a chance to like defend himself. They wear his shit out. You know, they talk about the Winnebago and all the broads and all the fucking things. But the guy's not even around to like defend himself. The same thing in The Last Dance where they fucking beat up Jerry Krause. And the guy's not even alive to be able to defend himself.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Jerry
like,
Krause got fucking destroyed.
He got destroyed.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Earl got killed
got
too.
to that point, but Earl got enough of it. For sure.
Oh,
in that
big
first
time.
episode.
Dude, we talked about this, Pat, a little bit, and I'll see what you thought. But like, I thought they used editing and music and the style. They're like the way that they wanted to tell that story. Perfect examples when they're showing Tiger and Earl playing. Tiger's maybe like 14 or 13 years old. They're zooming in on Tiger's face, and he's like staring into the distance. And over that footage, they're talking about like Earl being a womanizer and Earl being really tough on him. And the music's like super sad and mad, and like you're like, oh my God, this kid's fucking life sucked. Meanwhile, in reality, if you show me just like 60 minutes of that footage of them playing golf on the golf course, they're probably having like the time of their lives. It's Tiger and his dad. Like what? Like you can't tell me that they're not. You can't tell me that kid's held hostage out there on the golf course.
He's not held hostage. There was no chance. I mean, like I said, I've known Tiger forever, but you know, Earl was tough, but he was gonna create the toughest, you know, best golfer there ever was, and he basically succeeded.
There's a ton of tough dads out there. I mean, like when we go to tournaments, we see Justin Thomas's dad standing on the green.
He's there all the time
with his arms folded, telling people to stop walking through the walkways so that his son can putt. I mean, I watched it at the U.S. Open. He's standing there
all the time.
Right. So it's like, I mean, like, I don't know. It's obviously that he's one of the greatest stories in the history of all time. So everything's going to get exploded by a billion. And it is that like storybook dad really, really hard on him. I mean, they fed him to the sound of golf balls being hit in this fucking high chair. It's a crazy story, but I think I agree with you when it's like the guy wasn't there to fucking, he's not there to defend himself at all.
Everything gets magnified, dude. And like, guess how many super hard fathers there were that were vicious and hard, whose kid was like 177th in the world, right? Yeah, exactly. And like, he did the same bullshit or worse or a little less, who knows? But like the same bullshit to dozens of kids. And like, just because Tiger became Tiger, there's this massive highlight and people indict him and he's not there to defend himself, like you said, Pat. So I think that's a really, really good point. I don't think we've talked about that on the show, But I think that's a really, really good point. It's a great comparison to
just
Kraus.
sucks.
Like, he got totally fucked. He was never there to defend himself. And anytime somebody's not there to defend himself, and when they get
the
totally
worst.
buried, it's just it's tough. It's a tough look.
I played with Kukoc about 2 months ago, and I was asking him all about the Last Dance and this and that. And he had some different thoughts on it, but I thought this entire Tiger piece was just a total fucking joke. I thought it was an embarrassment for HBO. I don't give a fuck what that guy says about anything. What's his name, Armin or whatever?
Yeah.
I think it was just
Armin Gatayan.
I think it's
Armin
a total
Gatayan.
fucking embarrassment to come
I
out
love that
and
guy,
actually
but
put
I
that
respect
piece
what you're
out.
saying.
I think it's a total embarrassment to bring something up 9 years later. And, I get it. But when I watched all that, I mean, I've lived through that. Fuck, I've known Tiger fucking 38 years. I've lived everything he's lived. I've been through it, And to go through it was like watching, it was like being there in 09 again with all the deal and all the broads and all the fucking thing. It's like, what is the point? What is your point in bringing this up right now?
Yeah.
No point.
To make
Especially
money,
when he has
baby.
no
It's to get views.
And he has no involvement in it. So
No, of course not. I mean, why would he? He must, I don't know. I doubt he watched it, but he probably talked to somebody that has watched it and was like, "Fuck, bro." I sent Tiger a message actually and said, "It's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing what they did to you. I mean, they're fucking assholes as far as I'm concerned, and it sucks you had to go through it."
Does Tiger respond when you text him?
No, he didn't respond there, but I think.
But does he usually?
Yeah, all the time. But I think that maybe he just wanted to leave it.
yeah.
Rather than keep talking about it, just let it go.
Totally.
Because if he responds and goes, "Yeah, fuck those assholes," this and that,
Totally.
I don't know. To him, he may think that may get somewhere, so he probably just didn't do it. I'll see.
Can't imagine sending that text. You guys must be closer than I mean, I know you guys have been close, but like I would be shitting bricks sending that text message to Tiger Woods about that fucking documentary. Like just fucking.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's actually a great day. I got a text from MJ, asking me like, "How am I doing?" and just checking in on you. And then I'm fucking watching the Tiger thing, and I text him. I mean, it was a pretty cool day. So
you got a text from MJ just checking in.
He's like, "Hey brother, just checking on you. How you doing?" I go,
Jesus Christ.
Doing great. I got a new baby coming, by the way.
Whoa.
Found out. Yeah, that was
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, congratulations. That's incredible.
Let's go.
Spanning the family, brother. Man. Fucking crazy.
We're excited. It's fucking awesome. Ashley's doing great.
Do you know what the gender's gonna be? Or are you guys gonna?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're 8 weeks, so we're early.
Yeah.
Dude, tell Ashley
Jr.
we said congrats. That's amazing.
I will. No, I will. Definitely. Yeah, it was it's pretty cool. He's like, let me know if you need anything. I'm like, fuck, that list could be really long. But
I need everything, man.
I need everything there is.
Have you finished the Jordan Wall room? Because I mean
it'll be done. Yeah, it's gonna be done this week. We go home Sunday night, and then I'm gonna have it all done. So it's gonna be sick.
Wow,
that's awesome.
The next time you guys come out, you'll see it.
Because you're gearing up for Scottsdale, right? You wanted to have that all done for that week.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to next week. I guess they're only gonna have about 4,000 people out there.
Yeah,
which they got none this week.
I think Riggs gonna be what? You're in the fucking pro-am or something like that? Or you?
I'm in the pro-am. I'm in the pro-am, but everybody's chirping me about hitting my shot on 16 and everything. But there's gonna be. So somebody chirped me. They're like, "Yeah, there's only gonna be like 4,000 people on 16, not 20." And I'm like, dude, if 2 people watch me tee off, I'm literally pissing down the right side.
I'm coming to watch him. When are you gonna be in town anyway?
I get back on Thursday.
What am I talking about? You're already there.
No. I'm in Pinehurst right now. I'm at Pinehurst.
When are you coming back?
I'll be back Thursday.
All right. Tuesday night.
You hanging?
We're gonna have a little gathering on Tuesday. So plan on.
I'm in. You know me, I'm in. But I have to Uber. If you get a DUI in Arizona, they send you to Tent City.
You're gone, baby. You gone. Plan on Tuesday night.
You're fucking gone in Arizona. If this is a little PSA to anybody, you should never drink and drive, obviously,
Ever.
but especially in Arizona because they'll send your ass to Tent City.
What is Tent City?
It used to be a lot worse when Sheriff Joe was there. Sheriff Joe put his own son in Tent City for 30 days.
Dude, Frankie, you get a DUI, they send you to Tent City is like a prison in the desert where people just live in tents, and it's where they send people that do. It's crazy.
It's a tent and a cot and it's no matter what time of the year you are outside in a tent. It could be 125 outside, or it can be 30 in the winter, and
No
you're
thanks.
outside.
Seems illegal.
Tent. It's horrible.
No, thank
Well,
you. Feels
He
like
tried to get-
Siberia
I'm
or
out.
Try to
something.
get people to not drink and drive, and they still do.
Sounds like fucking Siberia.
Hence why I Uber. Whenever I go to Pat's, I Uber.
Always.
That's what I do.
Always.
All right, man. Well, look, good luck this week. We're gonna be rooting for you like we always are. Tell
Thanks,
Jason
brother.
we're gonna take his bitch ass down on the golf course in the 4-man scrambles.
You won't say that.
And
You won't say that to my face, he says.
I'm saying it from 3,000 miles away, obviously.
Oh, what do you mean? I'm from Cleveland, man.
He's at Pinehurst right now.
Pinehurst.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Pinehurst. He was
They
there
let you in?
He was there 99 days.
Dude, I drove from Detroit to New York the other day, and that fucking drive through Ohio is maybe the worst drive in all of the land.
You
How
know,
is that worse than the one across PA? That one sucks.
Dude, that maybe
PA's bad.
PA's worse because you just went through Ohio.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like it's the double, like you're like fucking, all right, I'm through Toledo, and then all of a sudden you hit like Amish country. You're like, where am
Oh,
I
it's
right
Amish country. It's the middle of
now?
nowhere.
Like
Yeah,
Kingpin.
It is yeah, it is like Kingpin, basically.
Yeah.
Just don't stop. Better
Great
not
movie.
pass
You
Vegas.
loser. You don't deserve
Jason.
a car.
let's play Firestone. Firestone would be amazing.
Firestone's
He'll
awesome.
make it happen.
Canterbury's awesome, man. Like, there's so many good tracks in Ohio, bro. Like, we can make that
Well,
happen.
the challenge has been fucking thrown. So
Yeah, that's
now
it.
has
It's
to
accepted.
we're in.
We're
Yeah.
good
It's
to
already
go.
been
Yeah.
thrown, so it has to happen.
Are
I
you
just
ready?
hope I can come to see it.
Question is, it's not about bringing clubs or golf or anything else. It's who's bringing the booze.
Okay.
Bro,
We'll bring the booze.
you're gonna bring the booze.
We'll bring
that,
plenty of
bring that
booze.
high heat.
They'll bring the booze. They'll bring the booze.
High heat, buddy.
But boys, once again, I appreciate the match. It was fucking fun. I had a blast. It was fun hanging with you boys, and we're gonna do it again.
Thanks,
All
brother.
right, Pat.
Can't wait.
You're the man.
Can't wait.
We appreciate you. Good luck this week, and I'll see you back in Scottsdale.
All right, boys. I'll see you next
All
week.
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks,
All
Pat.
right,
Enjoy
Riggs.
yourself.
Thanks,
you.
boys.
Thanks, Pat. See you, Jason.
Later.
See you, boys.
See you guys.
Out.
Yeah.
We just stopped recording, but I said hit the record button because I want to push people to the YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed yet to Foreplay on YouTube, I'm doing a call. I'm calling it out. Everyone here pick a name. We don't have Trent, so I'm going to pick two. But Ben, Lurch, pick a name for who has to subscribe to our YouTube channel today. Go.
I'm going to go with Ben. If your name is my name, you got to go and hit subscribe. Out of all the Bens out there, if your name is Benjamin, Benedict, however your name starts or finishes, you
Love
go, click subscribe. It's really easy. No skin off
So-
your back. 2 clicks, you're in.
Riggs, you go.
I'm trying to think of what must be the most common white guy name that listens to Foreplay podcast in the fucking country. And I'm going to say,
It's got to be Joe, no?
I'm going to say, have we said Mike? Did we say Mike last week?
No.
Mike. If your name's Mike, Michael, Mikael, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm going to say, if your name's Mike or any variation of Michael, go subscribe immediately to our YouTube channel. And if you don't, we are going to hunt you down and be very upset with you.
All right, so we got Ben, Mike, and Thomas. If your fucking name is Thomas, Tommy, Tom, and you're not subscribing to this goddamn YouTube channel, I'm calling you out. Ben, Mike, Tom, go do it. You're listening to me right now in your earlobes. I just said your name. You know it's you that I'm talking about. You specifically, Tom. Go fucking subscribe to YouTube and watch this video tonight. Let's go. It's Pat Perez. It's 4-Man Scramble. I'm out of here. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard. Did you give 2 names, though? I thought you were going to give one for Trent.
Just do Trent.
And the name Trent. If your name is Trent, you gotta go. All right, we got Ben, Tom, Mike, and Trent. That's who has to subscribe. You have to. It's legally binding.
All the Trents out there are just devastated.
Dude,
right
if
now.
if your name's Trent, you thought you got off easy, but you did not. If you got big cankles and you're from the Iowa fucking corn-fed fucking area of the United States, you better go fucking subscribe. Man, I had such a
Tweet
good
at him.
exit there, and you fucked me up there, Lurch. But it was a good
I know.
save.
I love it. I'm happy.
Tweet
I
at
did
him.
that.
'Cause He has no idea. He has no idea what's going on.
Go New York Islanders.
Hit it hard. Let's go Blues.
Hit it hard. Let's go Rangers.
Hit hard.